Welcome back to episode 258 of the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast. My name is Josh. Louis is here. Phil's here. Okay, guys, right out of the gate, got to get to something kind of crazy. No, something was sent to me 2 days ago. I have a producer friend in Hollywood, like a big muckety muck type guy, right?
Another song?
Bit older than me, but cool guy. Cannot share his name because he sent me something really amazing that he said I could share on the show. Now, did you guys ever see the movie 8 Mile? I assume you did, right?
Cole Perfetti, Mom Spaghetti. Come on, Josh.
Cole Perfetti, Mom Spaghetti. Okay, yeah. And they had like rap battles in the movie, like the Detroit hip hop scene, right? Eminem going back and forth. Well,
yes.
Apparently, when they made the movie, they filmed like a bunch of these rap battles.
No,
I recorded them, and then they kind of picked the ones that they want. Well, one of them happened to have a hockey theme to it.
Well, in the 313,
I guess. And for some reason, maybe because Eminem's more of like a football fan or something like that, he cut the hockey one. But this guy that I know sent me the hockey one, and he said I could play it. This is a cut rap battle scene that has to do with hockey from the movie 8 Mile.
What have you done?
You think I'm drawing
what
that
have
joke?
You done? This bet?
Oh,
okay.
No, seriously, here we go. Are you ready?
Yo. And yo. Yo, I'm reppin' O-Pee-Chee, the heart of the North. A card so iconic, true greatness gave birth. Rough cut edges, that's character, bro. Shows we grind up in Canada through the ice and the snow. Yellow dot on the shoulder, yep, that's the flaw. But perfection ain't real, it's raw like hockey, no law. This ain't no polished act, we keep it gritty and tough. Canadian company, baby, our heritage is rough. O-Pee-Chee's the classic, the holy grail. Your slick top's trash, bro, you're doomed to fail. You say your color's bold, please stop that flex. Our print runs were tighter, your value's complex. Hold up, let me set this straight. Tops is the rookie card that dominates the debates. Our paper's supreme, our colors pop clean. You're stuck on that dot, man, that's just obscene. Sharp edges and corners, a collector's dream. No rough cuts here, nah, I'm pristine. We kept it bold, our colors don't fade. While your print quality sloppy, your legend betrayed. Your Canadian pride, that's a cute little flex. But we roll worldwide, got international respect. Your yellow dot's a joke, your edges are junk. Your values might be higher, but you look straight bunk. Yeah. You talk about sharp corners like it really matters, but hockey's about grit, not those perfect patterns. Collectors know the truth when they see that OPC. It's the card that holds weight like Gretzky's legacy. Your top's run is massive, you flooded the game. O-Pee-Chee stayed tight, kept the legend's name. Real hockey fans know who to trust. We keep it old school, your style's just dust. Tight print runs, bro, that's your only excuse. But Tops keeps it legit, and our fame is the proof. We outshine your flaws, our gloss won't degrade. While your rough cut mess looks like a razor blade. O-Pee-Chee is niche, only Maple Leafs care. But I'm global, son, collectors everywhere. So keep your rough cuts, your dot, your northern pride when it comes to...
Wow, what do you think?
That was incredible. Oh my god, Josh, that was amazing.
I'm just kidding, of course, about the whole 8 Mile thing, but what do you say, Louis?
Thanks. People are going to get in a fight about rough cut and straight tight.
I know.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was fan. I mean, how to put O-Pee-Chee in hip hop? That was crazy, man. That was excellent. Well done.
Gretzky, O-Pee-Chee versus Tops. Yeah, I was just kidding about the 8 Mile thing, of course, but
yeah, we don't want to get sued. We don't have any money.
No. Go ahead, sue us for what?
I'm giving you my Gretzky refractors out of Josh's dead hands.
Now, would it be like more like a rough streets of Detroit hip hop battle when you're looking at the Gretzky O-Pee-Chee versus Tops, or would it be the other thing I'm thinking of? The name is slipping me. What was like the Broadway play where there's like
lost me a Broadway play?
The two gangs are like dancing. They're having like
Grease.
West Side Story.
Oh,
No, like
West Side Story.
Yeah, West Side Story. That's probably would be more us than Detroit hip hop, but yeah.
The Outsiders. Yeah. Who's Pony Boy? I'm Patrick Swayze. I got to be the older brother. Yeah.
Is he the ugly one?
No, Patrick Swayze's the handsome one. Thank you very much.
Can't be you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, who won the rap battle though? Who do you think?
It's a tie. Listen, you can't. We both know you're not asking who won the rap battle. I can't. Who won the Tops O-Pee-Chee? They both have excellent qualities to each other that are unique from each other.
Yeah, you hate O-Pee-Chee on Tops Crime. You don't like that.
No, I think they're both very special.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a couple other really quick things before we get to today's show. Apparently, Louis and I suck at Seinfeld references still. And at least Louis has an excuse. He doesn't like the show and he's never watched it. But I've watched every single one. And apparently, you keep doing Seinfeld references that just fly right over my head. So
That's
I have
okay.
no excuse.
Yeah, sorry. I know. I don't acknowledge them. I just try to watch your face. But
It's probably funnier that way because
Yeah.
like nothing's landing here.
because I look at the camera and I hope I know the 10s and 15s of people that are listening to us. At least a few of them are like, "Oh, Phil, that's a good one. That was good." So I try to bust them out where I can.
Louis, you have an O-Pee-Chase update?
I do. This is for Phil. Check this out. So, Billy,
Yes.
we're almost to Gretzky, buddy.
Okay.
21 goals to take it over.
Do you guys think he'll do it this year or next year?
What did I say
think-
the other day, Josh? 21 goals in 30,
35, 34?
whatever.
35 games, something like that. I mean, I'm
Very
guessing it'll be
doable.
like 4 goals short.
Yeah, 4 goals short. That'd be funny. I'll have a long.
Which would be a
summer then.
buzzkill, but then the lead up to next season will be nutty.
Yeah, you better hope he doesn't go fishing or paintballing or do anything out of the ordinary.
Admire the absurdity in which you stick to the bit there, Phil.
Yeah, sorry. He's not, guys.
Yeah.
Get used to it. Nothing's gonna happen. I don't know. There's no chase of anything.
All right. Well, we have a huge show today, so we're gonna get going. Before we do, though, a quick reminder that our show, the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast, is a Patreon podcast. What that means is we rely on the support of listeners like you and watchers like you to help us cover our show expenses, produce more and what we hope to be better hockey card content. Hopefully, you've noticed and seen all the production improvements and equipment that we've been buying lately, and grow the hobby in even a small way. It's very easy to support us. You can do it for as little as $5 US a month. Be one of the first 299 supporters of our show. You forever get that title. You also get exclusive access to our Discord server, can participate in some of the stuff we do there, like 5K Challenge, Fantasy Hockey, a bunch of other stuff that we do, and just chat with us every day there. If you want to support us, you can go to our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com, click on the Become a Patron link at the top of the page, or go to the Patreon website directly, patreon.com, and search for Hockey Cards Gongshow. Link in the show description, both the podcast apps and YouTube, and then our Instagram and TikTok profiles too. All right, Baba Louie, big game plan today. Could you fit it all on one screen?
Yeah, I did actually, but I had to shrink her down. So
All right.
it'll be interesting to see how she goes, but let's give it a whirl, huh? So, with the game plan, it is get to know your Hall of Famers. Then it's off to who's hot in the struggle bus. Then we'll get into some hobby news. Following that, it is the New York Rangers Hobby Mount Rushmore. Then we have an interview, Breaker's Corner with Moneymoose. Then the PWHL set and checklist overview of the girls that's out. And it's Gongshow Mailbag and personal pickups.
All right, boys, let's get this Gong Show started. Today, we're at player number 25 in our Get to Know Your Hall of Famers series. It's where we're taking a look at the life, career, and hobby market for every single Hockey Hall of Fame player. We started our profiles with the very first Hockey Hall of Fame class, which was established in 1945, and are working our way to present day. We're still trucking along through the class of 1950 right now. So
Is that
far,
a train? Is that a train?
I don't know.
Sounds like a.
Uh,
No.
and something. So far, we profiled 6 of the 8 Hall of Famers in this class. That means there's 2 left, Phil. That's math. And today we're going to profile Mike Grant. Either of you ever heard of Mike Grant?
No.
No,
I feel like I've come across a Michael Grant at some point. Seems like a common name, eh?
Yeah.
like an old
I've heard of-
football player.
Yeah, Mike Grant.
Oh, Mike Grant. Oh,
You know,
so I
I've heard
heard
of
of-
Ulysses
Hunt.
S. Grant, but
Ooh.
yeah, I don't think that's the same person. All right. Michael Grant lived from 1873 until 1955, died at 81 years
Oh.
old, so pretty long life
Wow.
lived there.
finally.
Yeah. Grant's hockey career lasted between 1894 and 1902. Nice mustache there, Phil.
Coach Co. He looks like Coach
Yeah.
Co.
Kind of does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're related. Oh, that yeah, it was a good button bar one. Louis.
It's hard to argue. It's hard to argue. You better believe it is. Okay, this enough. Enough. I want to reread my contract, please.
All right. I said Grant's hockey career last week in 1894 and 1902. He essentially played 9 seasons of senior amateur hockey during that span. So senior amateur was the highest level of play at that time. You got to remember, his career basically ended 15 years before the start of the NHL. During his career, Grant was a cover point, which would be known as a defenseman today. And he played for 2 teams, the Montreal Victorias and the Montreal Shamrocks. Now, to cut to the chase a bit here on Mike Grant, he won or retained the Stanley Cup for 5 consecutive years between 1895 and 1899 with the Victorias. I don't know, maybe like the first Stanley Cup dynasty, probably, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this era is known as the Stanley Cup Challenge era. Do you guys have any reference of that? Do you know what that means?
No.
No,
I'll try to explain it a little bit. And because these teams keep coming up, I thought we should probably get into it. So during the period between 1893 and 1914, the Stanley Cup was a challenge trophy. The champions held the cup until they lost their league title to another club, or a champion from another league issued a formal challenge and subsequently defeated them in a special game or series.
That's
the
cool.
competitive format of each challenge was determined by negotiation between the 2 clubs, and the contesting clubs did indeed make several arrangements during this 22-year period. Before 1912, challenges would take place at any time, given the appropriate rink conditions, and it was common for teams to defend the cup numerous times during the year.
Cool.
In 1912, the cup's trustees declared the cup was only to be defended at the end of the champion team's regular season. So that's when it became a 1-year thing.
Yeah,
kind of
maybe
like playing capture the flag.
a little bit, eh? Too many duels, probably. That's why, like,
Yeah.
Roger, I challenge you to Stanley duel, like, Stanley, stop calling us. Like, like once a week, you get challenged. And once a year.
We just did this last week. Come on.
I know. It's so funny. Oh, that's good. Watching the evolution of this is, or listening to the evolution of the National Hockey League and the Stanley Cup's adventures is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. So he was a cup champion 5 times, essentially. After his career ended, Grant stayed connected to the game of hockey, particularly as a referee. I guess he was famous for wearing a derby hat on the ice as a ref. It's been kind of funny to see that. Grant also came from a family of blacksmiths that dated back to 1830 in Montreal. At some point after hockey, he returned to the family biz and got involved in horse racing, and I'm assuming they made a whole bunch of money, because one of Grant's sons, Don, would end up becoming part owner and chairman of the New York Mets when they were founded in 1962.
I think some horse fixing was going on maybe there, eh?
Yeah, maybe there. Well, why should we care about Mike Grant? Mike Grant was a pivotal figure in early hockey history, and his contributions to the game are significant both as a player and as a visionary leader. Mike Grant was one of the first players to elevate the role of defenseman in the game. Known for his exceptional skating ability and offensive flair, he helped redefine the position by showing that defensemen could contribute significantly to both defense and offense. His puck-carrying skills and end-to-end rushes were considered revolutionary at the time. He set the standard for future generations of defensemen, and Grant was a natural leader, serving as the captain of the Montreal Victorias during their dominant era in the late 19th century during their 5-time Stanley Cup run. Now, looking at Mike Grant's hobby market, well, there is none, because given his career predates the first hockey card set of 1910, the C56 set, there's not any Mike Grant playing day cards. But fear not, Phil and Louis and the good listener. Of course, we have our old, steady, always there for us, 1985 Cardophilium hockey set, where there is Mike Grant.
We got to buy the Cardophilium set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we'll keep
I
it
can only
at,
find one sale in card letter sales history. It was a raw copy that's over $3.50 US this past July. And that is your Hockey Hall of Famer, Mike Grant.
Good job. Nice. He's one of the few people that he looks like a super old person. Some of the other
Yeah.
guys, it's like they look like from our century, maybe, or I guess last century. But this guy looks like a genuine, like, chip, cheerio.
Chip.
Mary Poppins.
Moving on to Who's Hot in the Struggle Bus. It's week 15 of the NHL season. We're all teed up for Who's Hot in the Struggle Bus. It's where we highlight and praise 3 players that are tearing it up in the NHL and take a look at how their stellar play has affected their hobby markets. Then we put the scarlet letter of shame on 3 players who's earned them a seat on the struggle bus. Like we always do, we'll start off with our picks for Who's Hot. Well, I went with a little bit of pasta today for Who's Hot. And I don't think we've talked about him at all this year, which feels a little bit weird.
Other than the little Marchand,
Oh, yeah.
Pasternak,
Tiff.
Tiff.
And of course, it hasn't been the best season in Beantown either. I'm sure that has something to do with pasta atypically not being on our radar much. Over the past 6 games, though, he's caught fire quite a bit with 6 goals, 5 assists for 11 points. Now in the season, Pasta has 21 goals, 30 assists for 51 points in 47 games played. It is an 82-game pace of 36, 37 goals, somewhere around there, and 89 points. Pretty good, but not quite up to the standard he's established in recent years. In his past 3 seasons, he has 40, 61, and 47 goals.
Wow.
I don't know if all the drama about him and Marchand not liking each other probably hasn't affected him much because since then he's been on quite the tear. I don't know. Maybe it helped. Does drama fuel the Bruins? Is that the question of the day?
Maybe.
Now, Phil, they played your Senators on last night on Saturday night.
Game of the year. Incredible. Right? Yeah. Felt like playoff game. It was awesome.
What did you see from Pasta that game?
I saw him score his 21st goal. And I saw him not score in the shootout. And I saw my Sens Tim Stützle win in the shootout, and we won. That's what I saw from David Pasternak. A loser.
Did you spend this morning writing your apology letter to Josh Norris and his family, or no?
No? They do it again. No, I'm happy you scored. Good. I'm allowed, Josh, I'm allowed to be objectively, what is it?
It's subjectively irrational.
Oh, yeah. I'm allowed to be subjectively irrational about my hockey team. So, no, I want Josh Norris to have the greatest Ottawa Senators career ever. Do I think he will? Probably not.
Appreciate your honesty.
Okay.
Thank you for
David Pasternak is a 2014-15 Young Guns PSA 10 pop just 236. Wow, that is super low. With a 36% gem rate, last sold for 666 US on no. Sorry, it's sold for 1100.
What are you good
I had
for?
this wrong.
What are you good for, Madigan?
What am I good for? 768. It sold for 768 last sale. Now it had sold for 1100 on December 20th.
Wow.
And it's getting pretty close to its year low of 635. So
that's a lot of money for him. He's not that good. $6 for PSA 10. That's crazy to me.
Well, last May, Phil, sold for 1,500.
Yeah, that's even crazier. Yeah. Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Pasternak, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I can't wait. Give me all his analyticals. I'm so excited.
Well, he did have 60 goals 2 years ago. That's pretty good.
No. He is I don't know.
But I think a lot of the value has to do with the pop count.
With the what?
With the pop count.
Oh, the pop count. Sorry. I thought you said pasta. I'm like, yep, that's his name.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's like 4,000 Tim Stützle Young Guns, right?
Yeah,
so
you're absolutely correct. You're probably bang on that. Yeah.
Louis, you got the next player.
It's this guy, Philip Forsberg from the Nashville Predators. Mr. Forsberg, there's still a shining light in Smashville, and Philip Forsberg's keeping it on lately. With all the craziness for a roster that should be putting up dubs now, someone has to take the helm. This is the guy. He scored in, 5 straight games and has earned 6 goals and 6 assists during a 7-game point streak. He netted his 300th goal a few days ago and then added 2 more goals and 2 more assists in their last game against the Minnesota Wild, who crapped the bed in a 6-1 loss.
We got thumped. Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I had it on.
I didn't watch it, but I saw a message that there was like 3 fights in the first 7 minutes.
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Do you know what happened between the two teams, Phil?
They didn't get along, I take it.
No, well, I don't know if I wouldn't call them a rivalry, but I don't think there's any love lost with Nashville.
Okay.
What's the name of the kid from Nashville that slew-footed Spurgeon?
Oh, yeah.
Slewfoots aren't good.
Yeah, they showed that right in the beginning of the game, or right in the their
It's
little
like
half an hour briefing.
It's a French name. It's like Le Heroux. I just butchered it. I'm sorry.
Doesn't
Somebody
matter.
will add it.
Anyways, someone slew-footed.
Spurgeon.
Oh, he double
Took him
slew-footed
out.
him right in the boards, and he
no.
missed a good chunk of time, and so the Wild players are none too happy about that, and so right from the get-go there was some fisticuffs.
Good. Passion. That's all I heard.
Passion. So on the season, Mr. Forsberg sits at 15 goals, 27 assists for 42 points in 45 games. And after watching the series Face Off on Prime Video, the one nobody in Canada watches, Phil?
I haven't
Or
watched
haven't
it yet.
seen? I found myself to like this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, he's in the first episode, dude. So if you want to watch the first one, this guy's really cool. I think you'd like him. Forsberg is a 2013-14 Young Guns with a PSA 10 pop of 212 and a gem rate of 68%. Last sale was on January 2nd for $79. This card has jumped 58% in the last month, but overall just up 6 in the last 3.
Philip?
Yes. It's Philip or Philippa in Greek.
Philippa.
All right.
Your
so
turn.
My pick of the week might be because I saw him play recently, so it's subconsciously biased, but Brock Nelson. Man, what a player. I had the privilege of watching Brock play last week. He's a complete player in front of my scouting eyes. So I never really noticed him before, but he has a very good presence on the ice, and he's also American, so that's pretty cool. You better believe it is. Yeah, okay. He's a big boy at 6'4", and he's from the great state of Minnesota. 7 points in his last 5 games, which is great, but that's not one of his best strengths. He's extremely versatile because Patrick Waugh keeps bouncing him around from the first line to the second line to the first line. Not only that, he's bouncing his players around. Barzell and Lee one game, and then the next game is Palmieri and Duclair. So, Mr. Nelson is extremely versatile. He has over 50 points in each of his respective last 3 seasons, and he's definitely on pace to do that again this year with 15 apples and 13 goals. Unfortunately, he's not a huge hobby chase. He's one of those really good players, but will not likely take that next jump up to be a great player. When was his draft? Like 2012, 2011 or something. But he's a great guy to have on your team. Great locker room guy, as they say. He's a 2013, 2014 Young Guns with a PSA pop count of 89 and a 72% gem rate. So go buy yourself a box of 2013-14 Upper Deck. Last sale was on December 29th for $82 American, and the card has jumped 300% in the last 3 months, increasing $61. It's my pick for the week.
He's from Warroad. Have you ever heard of Warroad, Phil?
No, but it's cool. I'd like to be from Warroad.
It's right up there by Canada, eh?
Yeah, tiny town right on the border that has a big window company that employs the whole town.
Okay.
And it's got to be, we should have pulled up some stats if I would have known. Brock, I didn't realize he was from Warroad, but
all they do is breed hockey players.
Per capita, they probably the most players in the NHL versus for the town of that size. Like the kids get keys to the rink when they're born, basically.
Really, eh?
And they've also used the window company to recruit some people to come live there. Like TJ Oshie would be the best example. probably
Well,
of
I get.
that
Do they
was-
say in sometimes in Canada we say, "Oh, those boys have farm strength." Do you Minnesota
yeah.
boys say those guys have window strength?
Mm.
Like, because a window can be kind of heavy, right? I mean, a two painter.
I always
That's
still
gotta
use
be
that.
heavy.
Still use that farm strength.
That window
verbiage here.
pane strength that Brock
Yeah.
Nelson carries a bay window trifold.
Yeah. So if you've ever seen that War Road hockey gear clothing line that
Mhm.
TJ Oshie's got, that's his line because he's
Nice.
from War Road. So yeah, there's
Cool.
the connection there.
Thanks for the info.
He's doing a
boys.
lot of the neck, like
Neck
the
guards.
shirts, neck guards, and
Mhm.
sleeved guards too for
The
your
Kevlar
wrists.
stuff.
Nice. Keep him busy after hockey.
The more you know.
The more you know. Well, and speaking of the more you know, there it is. The struggle bus back again for another week. Now, as I step onto the bus, the first player I see has been on the struggle bus for probably about 8 months at this point, pretty much. And this season's been a little bit of a disaster for everybody's favorite Swede with 2 T's and 2 S's. That'd be Elias Pettersson of the Vancouver Canucks. In his last 5 games played, he has just 1 assist and no goals. In the last 12 games played, he has 3 points. Now, a year or so ago, going back to the start of last season, we were kind of thinking, well, this could be a guy on a superstar trajectory, maybe. And then due to injury and then some big time locker room issues and who knows what else, he's pretty much a shell of what we thought he would be at this point right now. Now, I was thinking too about Pettersson, like going back again to the start of last season and the summer before. There's a huge narrative about how he's turned the corner. There's all these articles about how PD's stronger, right? He's
Oh,
gonna be
they're
more
so
physical.
everyone you read in the newspaper who's died tragically was a great person turning their lives around.
Yeah.
So annoying.
The stick flex, he's so strong, the craziest stick flex in the NHL. And then now it's basically he's refusing to play JT Miller, and it's gotten so bad that they're gonna have to trade one of them. And who knows the real story there, but not the spot you want to be. And I was trying to think like how many you don't see a lot of like ugly locker room situations in professional sports. The only other one I'm sure there's a bunch of examples people can find, but I thought of here in Minnesota on the basketball side when Jimmy Butler hated Karl Anthony Towns and basically forced his way out of Minnesota there. But especially in hockey, I mean, do you remember any other like real bad teammate situations that got very public like this?
Oh yeah, and on my Sens, that's why Eric Carlson's girlfriend and Mike Hoffman's girlfriend. Yeah, that was nasty, and it was there was a harassment charge, and then I think there was like a restraining order. Melinda Curry, if I remember correctly. I don't know, man. It was weird, and no one cared. Like, what are we talking about? I want my players to play well, and the worst part is Hoffman and Carlson have arguably the greatest goal in Ottawa Senators history together. So, that's tainted.
I forget what happened. So were they friendly and just their gals didn't get
girlfriend?
along?
No, they were just teammates, but their girlfriends. I think Hoffman's girlfriend had a reputation for being kind of like out there, different.
Okay.
Crazy, but the bad kind. I mean, we all like crazy, but we got the level we can handle. I think she was an unhandleable level of crazy, and there was just some. So I think there was a kerfuffle in the locker room with Carlson and Hoffman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, on the season, Pettersson has 10 goals, 19 assists for 29 points in 39 games played. And this is coming off 3 consecutive seasons of more than 30 goals. So it looks like that could be in jeopardy.
He looks like an alien too, eh? Something like the Sedines.
So?
This guy, there's another alien. Look at his picture. Alien. I don't know.
Elias Pettersson is a 2018-19 Young Guns. PSA 10 pop 2,768. So like here's like you think like Pasta at 260 or 30 PSA 10s. You got Pettersson at 2,800 almost. A 75% gem rate. That's probably why. Last sold for 101 US on January 16th. Now it is up 23% in the past month after it hit its 1 year low of $73 on January 6th.
Mm.
Remember his
I
rookie
think-
year? He was man. Everyone's like, "Who is this kid? Oh my god, it's wild."
Well, even last fall expo, people were. I think Sylvan was like, gobbling up his young guns and selling them, and
Yeah, it changes every week. Who knows what's going on?
Oh boy.
When's the next confessions with our boy?
Pretty soon.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Louis, who's joining Elias Pettersson on the struggle bus?
Dawson Mercer from the New Jersey Devils.
Did you change your pick because the Sens beat you yesterday? 2-1?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope. And it works out perfect.
Okay.
Hello, Dawson. You there anywhere? This kid's driving me nuts. He was a huge investment to this hockey team. They traded away Taylor Hall so they could, Mr. Hart Trophy winner, so they could take you in the 2020 draft, and you haven't shown up. In your last 10 games, Dawson, you have 1 goal and 1 assist, which, if it's a math show, that's 2 points, buddy. You are currently a third liner, the center behind Heischer and Hughes, but you are also pulling down $4 million a year for 3 years. Now, I'm done being funny, but talent for Mercer, it's clear.
Wait, when did you start?
Right away.
Yeah.
Funny guys. Yes, he's got talent. You can see it every time he's out there, but it seems like right now things aren't working out for the kid in New Jersey. I think New Jersey's good, but now after yesterday, they're on a 4-game skid after just looking like garbage against Phil's Senators.
That's right.
The team needs more forward depth if New Jersey's going to move on deep into the playoffs, and
gotta suck less, bro.
Yep, gotta suck less. And I wouldn't be surprised, as I heard a couple things that New Jersey might use Mr. Mercer as a trade chip leading into the trade deadline, and talking about said JT Miller, possibly.
How many
JT
JT Miller
Mercer
trade
for Miller straight up? No.
But
And 4 first-round picks, maybe.
What are you going to say, Josh?
do you think there's more JT Miller trade rumors than Phil owns Shane Pinto Young Guns at this point? I feel like every team that loses now is going to have like a game is going to have a JT Miller trade rumor.
He's on the trade block. Yeah. It's hard to argue. I'm gonna
I actually thought that was Phil. I thought that was good on Louis.
Anywho, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I really want JT Miller either. I'd rather.
I do.
But
I would rather him than Pettersson. Everyone, he's a locker room cancer. They're all a bunch of prima. You're at that level. Their egos are ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I don't want Pettersson either, but I don't know. You never know. A spark. Move him to Vancouver. JT Miller comes here. Who knows? Who knows what
Chemistry is a funny thing.
Yeah, it is.
Chemistry is a very funny thing. You don't know until you put them together and they all put stank on each other and start playing, and away you go.
Start gelling.
Yeah.
So on the season, Mercer has 10 goals, 11 assists for 21 points, which drumroll. Yeah. He needs. I think he could be pulling his weight a little more. He is a 21.
Wait, can you go back to that though? Because I think about like a lot of these guys that, especially that their rookie cards are in the last 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
After 300 games, if you're a half a point scorer, I mean that's kind of what you are, right?
Yeah, totally. That's what I was saying about Josh Norris. I'm saying, he's young and I'm picking on him and everything, but
I don't think like Dawson Mercer is going to become Gordie Howe anytime soon, right? He's going to be a half a point, good third line player probably his whole career, and that's probably is what he is at this point.
Yep.
on this team for sure.
It's harder to accept that when you're a first round pick, though, right? It's a lot more disappointment a little bit. But in the grand scheme of things, on a macro view, you can have a great NHL career, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Make your money, change your family's life. There you go.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it hasn't always been terrible, but my God, the last 10, however long.
Yeah, he sucks lately. It's okay to say that. Yeah, he's crappy.
But I'm just
lately.
saying, with 300 games, he's got 150 points. So there you go. There's your, the ups and downs level themselves out. But 300 games is a lot of games. And it's probably what they would say is statistically significant.
Can't argue with you.
Is it my turn?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Mercer's a 21-22 Young Guns PSA 10 pop of 1,415 and a 59% gem rate. The last sale was on January 18th for $30. The card has risen 26% over the last 2 weeks, so up $5 or so, but is down 14% overall in the last 3 months. Bill.
Yes.
Who do you put on the struggle bus?
I picked Morgan Riley, the blue team, Morgan Riley. I think the blue team and the blue team's fans have been a little too fond of Morgan Riley's character as a human being, that they're not really acknowledging and realizing he hasn't lived up to his very big contract. I'm sorry, I'm being such a jerk. Okay, so Morgan Riley is signed to an 8-year, $60 million contract with a cap hit of $7.5 million per season. Yada, yada, yada. Anyways, Riley will be 36 years old when his contract expires in 2029, 2030. Okay. So he just had a baby in August. So there is that. And we know sports can be ruthless after all the congratulatories, right? So the honeymoon phase is over. I mean,
Wait.
What?
I'm failing to grasp the relevance of having a baby 6 months ago. What is that?
Yeah, well, I don't know. You listen to Toronto media. It's brought up all the time. I looked up half the articles. They're like, well, he just had a baby. It's like
really?
five articles deep. I had to find out what the baby's born in August. I'm trying to be sarcastic. You're ruining the bit. No one's gonna notice anyways. I'm just gonna.
Are you trying to be funny like Louis?
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, here I'm gonna continue. I mean, the baby was born in August. How much longer as fans do we get to give professional athletes the benefit of the doubt? Thanks for ruining that, Josh. So he's a solid puck mover. But his defensive play is below average, and it's been a few seasons since we've seen anything significant offensively from him. While it's true he hasn't always had the best partners, it seems no matter who we pair him with, they just don't elevate his game or their game. So as for the power play, he's struggling. That's a separate issue entirely. It wouldn't be fair to pin all the blame on Riley, but he's back on the power play 1 unit, so he has 1 point in his last 5 games. Yes, I know he's a defenseman, but he's also a -5. So that's not too good. Big contract as well. Did I mention that? Riley is a 2013-2014 Young Guns PSA pop count, PSA 10 pop count of 359 with a 63% gem rate. Yeah, so go buy a box of 2013-14. Last sale was January 16th for $92. So I guess people still really like him. And the average sale of his card is about $85 American dollars in the past 3 months, with 8 sales ranging from $53 to $175.
That's crazy. That shows you the Toronto market effect, because I would have never thought in a million years that Morgan Riley's Young Guns would be going for that much dough.
Wild, eh? Yeah.
Okay. That's week 15. Who's on the struggle bus?
After they listen to that, we'll drop it at least a couple of quarters. We'll probably raise his value.
Pasta, David Pasternak, Philip Forsberg, and Brock Nelson, and who's hot, and then Elias Pettersson, Petey, Dawson Mercer, and Morgan Riley on the struggle bus. Slap Sharks is a Gongshow partner sponsor. We're grateful for their support of our show. The current Slap Sharks weekly eBay auction is live, ends this upcoming Thursday night. Head post haste. That's what by Mike Grant and that with that old school mustache in the 1900s.
Yeah. That's what they were saying. Yeah.
To slapsharks.com to check out all the cards available this week. There's only 3,000 cards available. Oh, It's tough to find one there. Yeah, it's like so many. It's becoming a problem. Like, we had to go through the whole auction and you miss so many awesome cards because there's just a lot of them.
Does
Crazy.
someone's job just to input the cards? It's got to be, right? Like someone's just at a desk going
Every week they have to do 3,000 listings.
Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy. Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah. Well, they're growing.
Well,
and out of those 3,000 cards for 2 weeks in a row, Josh and I seem to pick the same dang guy.
yeah,
But at least we got different cards this time.
Louis, he's a card pick bully. We established this.
I'm just first.
It's okay. I had the first one in there, actually.
Yeah, you did. I noticed that.
And Josh stole it from you. Exactly.
Nope.
That's my point.
I mean, yeah.
Bully.
Jeez.
Right. What are your cards, Josh? To say it.
If you two would stop talking, I would get to it. 3 of us spent some time going through the auction. We picked out 2 cards we liked. And because I have the prettiest eyes, only right that I should go first.
I've been told my eyes are very pretty. Thank you very much.
By your sister.
Kissing cousins.
That's your wife, jerk face. So
okay. My 2 favorite cards. First one's the 1997 Pinnacle Epics Pavel Bure Moment Emerald. These cards are very cool looking. I like them a lot.
Yeah, for
a toothpaste
commercial.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna kill you.
It's Aqua Fresh.
Murder your face.
Epics Moment.
They're also, though, not very straightforward. Like, if you've ever looked into these, they get very valuable. Phil. There's like a season, there's a game moment, which this one is. There's play variations. None of them are numbered, but somehow their print runs are known. Like the moments, I believe, had a print run of 30, but you should do your own research on that. I found that on TCDB. And actually, I'd love to have some sort of 90s expert, maybe Frank Porco, back on to talk about, help sort these out, because I really do, despite Phil's harsh criticisms, I do really like this card. And I think a lot of other people do too, so you're in the minority. You don't like this card?
Fine. I don't care. Who's Frank Porco?
He's did the 90s masterclass.
Oh, that was a great episode. Yeah, it was before my time. Yeah. Is his last name really Porco?
Yeah. P-O.
That's awesome. I love that. I wish my name
was his Porco. Instagram, he takes the most epic pictures of like 90s cards. It's awesome.
Oh, I know who it is. That's
Porco
not his
Sports
name
Cards.
What's that?
It's Porco Sports Cards or something like that.
It all makes sense. Ah, perfect. Okay. Thank you for demystifying that for me.
Sure. Wow. Then my next one is a 2020 Upper Deck Stature Wayne Gretzky Portrait Glove Relic Black Auto Short Print out of 9. I just think it's a beautiful card all around. I'm kind of digging the non-patch memorabilia, the gloves stuff lately. So I like this card. A little bit of a funny picture of Wayne, but you can get past that.
Yeah. It's like someone surprised him on the toilet.
It's like he's
It's like, no, it stalls in use. Oh my God, it's Wayne Gretzky. Can I get this autograph, please, sir?
All right, Louis, my feelings are hurt so much you have to go now. So I can cry in my soup.
Let's get mine hurt too. That's totally fine. Big deal. First one, 1997, Pinnacle, totally certified, Platinum Mirror Gold out of 30, Pavel Bure, PSA 9.
This one to go for big money too.
These cards are sick. And it ended up making me spend a little money, which maybe you'll see later.
Okay.
In the show. But I saw, so it was funny. The 2 cards that I picked are 2 that I actually held at the expo. Not necessarily the same player, but the cards in the gold. And then my next one, man, these things look so awesome. I'll never get away from late 90s, early 2000s cards. I love them to death. So this one, no, I'm not going to bid on it. This one's
creative
era. Some big money. Yeah, it was super awesome, but great card there.
And probably easily over $1,000 on the Bure.
I would imagine.
No.
Yes,
oh yeah.
Easy.
No.
The gold out of 30. Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cray.
My second one is a 2020-21 Upper Deck Clear Cut Champs Green Sealed Auto out of 25, Wayne Gretzky. Now I had the brochure of this in my hand at the expo. I didn't know anything about him until I saw that one, and then I
sick, bro.
Wanted the brochure, and that was but yeah, these are sick.
I think Champs was a cigarette company back in the early 1900s.
Cool.
We had
That's like
Champs
where the design-
restaurants.
They're great cards.
Yeah.
They're in clear cut, but they're not acetate cards.
No, they're
What-
paper, which is
what's the
weird.
ac-
Because
Yes, it's very deceiving.
Say something.
Go ahead. Something.
Who named the acetate cards the PB37s? What are they?
what?
You said the acetate cards? What's the code name? Like the James Bond name? The
PETG.
PETG. There's no
Yeah.
numbers? No numbers,
No,
eh?
it's like a science name, dude.
Oh, it's like an element,
Technical name, yeah.
like boron.
Technical name. All right, Phil, do your favorite cards.
Okay.
See,
My
this
favorite
garbage.
card is well, it's not Wayne Gretzky. Thank you. It's a 2017. Let me get up. It's a 2017 Connor McDavid fine silver card. So I love these fine silver cards. I have a Carlson and a Brady. When these cards came out, I really thought this would be like the king of all hockey cards. I'm like, that's it. They found the king of all hockey cards. Yeah, no one cares. Nobody cares. And this is a 0.999 pure silver. So I also collect, or I used to collect a lot more silver coins and bullion. So I think what a more beautiful piece of hockey memorabilia to bridge from a coin collector to a hobby collector, right? But yeah, it turns out the fine silver cards didn't take off at all. I guess they're kind of weird if you think about it. I mean, it's pure silver, but it's cool. It's a real hockey card.
What
So I'm
part
definitely-
is silver on it? The just the middle part or the whole thing?
Yeah, that's the thing, because the silver maple is a lot smaller than the card. So I haven't really thought about it that much. No more questions, Josh. So I'm definitely keeping my eyes on this Connor McDavid.
I have
card.
more questions. I've
Oh,
heard
I
these
don't have the
tarnished
answers.
too.
Call Billy.
that-
I don't know.
Is that tarnishing at the bottom?
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
heard these
tarnishes.
tarnished.
We call that toning. I like the toning. Yeah, you can
Oh.
put sulfur. I used to put sulfur on my silver maples, and or my American Eagles, and it would make them tarnish, and it was pretty cool. Didn't up the value or anything. I mean, you could just clean it right off with acetane after. But current bid is $167.50.
So that's not original to the card on the bottom there,
That's not original to the card.
like when it was pulled, or it is
I think that's that's the tarnishing, right?
on the bottom. Is that
So that happens with oxidation.
okay? Yeah, so
Over time.
So yes, the card probably was all silver. Now over time, it's doing that.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't know how this got so this got graded. It had to be opened. Upper deck, you get it sealed. So I don't know, I don't know what they tried to authenticate. I'm trying to avoid the whole PSA talk. I guess they have a precious metals tester at PSA, and they said it's silver.
Well, the only thing that makes sense to me on this then is you wouldn't grade it, because if over time it's going to keep tarnishing, technically to me, you would think that would bring the grade down. So it might have started out right away as a 9 or a 10, but over time, tarnishing is going to make it worse. So we'll just authenticate the card and good to go.
Yeah. I don't know how you grade a piece of metal. It's
Well,
not a card. It's
how do
not, there's no.
You grade the corners, edges. Silver scratches very easy, so you could grade the surface of it in that regard. And Louis, it's just like the 90s, like Topps Chrome, like Kobe rookies that are all hulking, where Kobe's turning green. Same thing, right? Over time, he gets more green.
I think the tarnishing's cool. And when you hold these cards in hand, it's just a slab of metal with a picture glued onto it. That's all it is. Picture a graphite or sand mold. You pour silver in it, put some stickers on it, and that's what this is.
Are they pretty
Unless
heavy?
there's pardon me?
Are they pretty heavy?
Well, it's an ounce.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
So for you,
Heavier than I'll bring. I
So
don't know.
you
I'm gonna
bench?
buy. What's that?
so you bench?
I don't know what I bench anymore. I haven't benched in over a year, man. As long as I can hit 2 plates, I'm happy. If I can't hit 2 plates 10 times, that's not good. I think I can, though.
What are plates in Canada?
45 pounds.
But you don't use pounds.
Yeah, I know. We're backwards. We're weird. I know. It should be
Okay.
kilos, right? 20 kilos.
Okay.
2.2 pounds.
Now, what's your next card?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is crazy card. Look at this. So it's a 2012 O-Pee-Chee, not O-Pee-Chee Platinum. It's just a regular O-Pee-Chee marquee rookie, black retro of probably one of the greatest goalies of all time, if not the best, Patrick Waugh. I've never seen this card before, but you can see O-Pee-Chee Platinum in its third trimester. You can see it being born almost, or brewed. You can see it being baked. So I think Patrick Waugh is the best goalie in the world, in my opinion, which is objectively true. He has a white helmet. He's in his rookie season, and he's wearing his brown pads. A complete hockey card, if you ask the loud collector, who would be me. And it's numbered 33 out of 100. So I will definitely be going for this card. So listen up, good listener. Back off. Current bid is 70. Current bid
jersey numbered. Oh, we gotta get it.
Oh crap! I didn't even realize that. Frig. I don't even care. I don't even see those things. I didn't even care about that crap. That's why it's $71 because it's jersey number, bro. Oh, it's exhausting. So I'll wait for the next one. It's all yours, guys.
I love the design of this card, but I have an issue with it. I don't like when it says rookie, but it's not a rookie.
That doesn't bother me. I'm very aware that's obviously not a rookie. Well, what about the new people, Phil? You know what? Let them buy the card and think it's a rookie. I hope they do. Yeah. I hope you do. Tough love. Well, you gotta have tough love, man. Come on. There's a line of learning disability and not, right? There's a line. There is a line. There's two people out there in the world, one very close to the other, but one's got a learning disability and the other one doesn't. And there is a line between them. You got to accept the line.
I think 2012 and rookie and Waugh should maybe spark something in you.
Well, if you're a Canadian like Phil, I'm sorry, there's nobody like Phil. If you're Canadian and you want to start using and you're not using Slapsharks, well, then you should, because they make your life easy. Nobody likes the process of selling cards on eBay. It's tedious. You need to have all the right equipment to do it right, like scanners and cameras and lighting.
Oh my.
That's why handing them off to Slapsharks is the way to go. They make it simple. Plus, your cards get included in one of the most popular weekly hockey auctions. That means there's the potential for lots of collector eyeballs to see your cards. So for complete consignment info, including payout rates, head to slapsharks.com. Get the consignment process today. Hobby news. Okay, now can you explain what you did last episode?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that was where I tried to speak Greek and it didn't even come out very Greek at all. Yeah, it was gibberish.
Oh, okay, Mr. Bilingual.
I know. I knew Greek, but I failed kindergarten. I didn't even know English till I was like 7. Now I've forgotten all my Greek and it's terrible.
You serious? You didn't know English at all?
No, I failed kindergarten, dude. Yeah, my parents
Where
did
were
not
you born?
teach me. Montreal. Yeah, but in a very Greek community, and I was also a Jehovah's Witness. So there was a very small Greek community. I didn't know any English, man.
So is English like your third language? Did you speak more French than English at one point?
I was never taught French either. Yeah. Crazy, eh? Yeah.
Well, let's talk some TikTok ban. The never-ending saga of the TikTok ban here in the US. Now, important context for this topic is it changes about every 15 minutes. So it's a little bit of a slippery slope trying to talk about it. Last night I was at dinner with my family, and the ladies in my life were very sad, my daughter and wife, that because the TikTok ban came through in the US. You tried to open the app and it said, "We gone. Can't use it." And then I just saw, like, right before we started recording, that it's back up now.
Yeah, a couple hours ago it came back up.
Ago.
Didn't your commander in chief as of today say it's okay until they look into it or something?
Yeah, I think he's going to give like a 90-day reprieve. That's the stay of execution, maybe call it. Very fluid story, of course. And the company was given a January 19, 2025 deadline to sell to a U.S. entity or face a ban due to concerns over ownership by Chinese government or their ability to spy on Americans and spread disinformation through the software. Now, no buyer has been found, and that's why at the deadline, this sort of ban has been a ban, not a ban. Who knows? Now, is Canada considering doing anything like this, Phil, or is this just
no, I think our prime minister really likes China. He actually loves China, so he's probably he's not interested in banning TikTok. I can guarantee you that. He'll probably say something like, "We're looking into it. National security is very important." That's probably what you get. Yeah, TikTok won't go anywhere.
Well, your Canadian Mr. Wonderful was even talking about maybe getting in on it.
Who's
I can't remember his name.
Oh, the guy from Shark Tank, right?
Shark Tank guy.
Oh, O'Leary?
Yeah.
O'Leary, yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy, man. Yeah. I mean, I disagree with some things he says, but I also agree with a lot of things he said. So
the reason he said he would maybe have to get his hat in the ring to buy it, because a lot of the businesses and everything he owns, those people use it. So if they're not making money, he's not making money.
Yeah. I don't know much about TikTok. Are we on TikTok? Is the Gong Show on TikTok? Are we TikTokers?
We haven't really tried, which I'm feeling comfortable with that decision now. Maybe
I'm telling you, we need to hire a teenage girl. Your daughter, she can make us famous.
She wants to come on the show.
Yeah, how old is
she's 16. You know how on Friday Nights with Phil you had the gentleman and his daughter?
Yeah, sweetheart.
Ava got a little butthurt over that. Like, why haven't I been on the show? I said, you can come on. She likes soccer more than
You're like, go back to the basement. No dinner for you, Ava. That's what Josh.
She's gonna want to talk about Ronaldo. I don't care. Okay. Before we get into like what the implications of a TikTok ban would be, I thought it'd be maybe good to have a little bit of a general social media kind of hobby, sort of lay of the land conversation. So, and I think that this is actually kind of important, because as I look back over the last 20 plus years of the hobby, I think that eBay and social media are the
Hey, that was supposed to happen Friday.
The base of it.
I'm sorry if you're listening. Phil's tree just fell on him. It's the most Phil thing. It won't stop. Is your tree good, bud, or what?
In it.
We're good.
All right. What was this? Oh, so if you look back the last 20 years in the history of the hobby, I think the two most important innovations or things that have impacted it the most have been, number one, eBay, by far, number one, and then social media. Right? If think of what our hobby would be like without social media. It would have to be way smaller.
And peaceful.
A little bit. And then it got me thinking of okay, what are if you had to rank the social media platforms in terms of hobby impact?
Well, eBay.
So number one, I had. Well, eBay's not social media though. That's
okay. I apologize. Yeah, that's technology.
So I had either Facebook or YouTube number one. What do you think is more important in the hobby, YouTube or Facebook?
Oh my God, Facebook! That's where I buy half my cards.
Let's go with that. So
yeah, okay, so YouTube. How many times do I need to see Ziri burp or me complain? Or right, I need Facebook for my cards. No, non-negotiable in my mind.
And then YouTube would be number two. I put Instagram number three, TikTok 4, and then Twitter number 5. Now I totally miss the whole Snapchat generation thing. I don't think there's a big hobby community on Snapchat though.
Is there?
I couldn't tell you.
It's like, hey, want to see my card? I can't.
I have it.
Seconds only.
I have it, but I never do anything with it. I always get a notification that somebody sent me a chat, a snap.
Did you guys download the sports card social network called Mantle?
No. I get a lot of weird. Do you guys get weird things sent to you? Like, hey man, use this app to keep track of my cards. I'm like, dude, no. I like XLS spreadsheet. Old, tried, tested, and true. Works every time.
I don't need another app. Dang it.
So I don't know how much of an impact, again, it looks like TikTok's going to have a little bit of a stay of execution here. Like how much direct impact it would have on the hockey hobby in particular. I know that there are content creators that are definitely hockey focused. There's breakers. There's a lot of hockey clips that get shared.
I'm Josh, sorry, not to interrupt you. I'm confused. Who's on TikTok in our hobby? Like, do people sell cards on TikTok?
Yeah.
Or is it just like sports clips of hockey I'm confused. I didn't even know you.
Breakers. And I don't know like how like TikTok has adjusted their guidelines around that. Well, I
Okay.
mean, Brendan, Coach Co. I mean, that's his business.
Yeah, but what's his
Yeah, I
business?
know he's not.
His business is to pump other business.
I know, but TikTok is how he makes his living. I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh I don't know. I gotta have
There's a lot of big content creators in the sports card space on. Now they're not all hockey people, but
yeah, I got hockey lens on, right? Like always have the rose-colored hockey hobby glasses on. I am ignorant to other sports and genres.
So I feel bad for those people, right?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Put your head down. They don't pay attention to them. Charity starts at home, Joshua.
I don't think that it affects much if it goes away in the hockey hobby. Would you agree with that or disagree with that?
I would agree that it would not affect our hobby that much, but I could be ignorant. I'm not aware that it already had filled part of the space to begin with.
Like if Instagram went away, I think that would have an impact on the hobby.
That would be horrible.
I would be devastated. Yeah. For a variety, not just for hobby reasons. Yeah. I'd be crushed.
I did see an article that like other democracies like the UK and other European countries might jump on the ban too. So who knows? With Canada, you never know.
On the TikTok ban? I think you need to identify exactly why you want it banned. If it's because the Chinese government is stealing your data, that's much different than I don't have the self-discipline to put my phone down. It's a big difference. Big difference. I think that conversation starts with a family and educational institutions. I'm careful saying that on the secondary one. But
the reason was not the latter of what you said. It was the Spygate and all that
Spygate, yeah. So then that national security, totally different. Totally different. Mike, you guys should be happy. Your country really cares about that as of today. And I can't wait for my country to really care about that again.
Yeah. The other like hockey TikToker is that I found is more examples are coming to me. Do you ever watch that? It's a comedy guy, the Coach Chippy, the guy that does all the Maple Leafs and he does all the characters in
TikTok. He's so funny.
He's good.
Oh, because it's okay. I see him on Instagram. I didn't know that was a TikTok. I'm sure the watermark is on there. I don't pay attention to that, but yeah, I didn't. Okay, so he's a TikTok guy. Cool.
A lot of like trick shot artists are on TikTok. Like there's the one guy that was in the Late Game movie that does the crazy trick shot hockey stuff. I think he's a TikToker too.
I don't watch too many trick shot guys because it just reminds me how crappy I am on skates. So, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Eventually I think something will get figured out, but it was kind of interesting to see a major social platform here go down.
Do you guys use TikTok? Is it on your phones?
Negative.
Josh?
I have one TikTok guy that I really like and has nothing to do with it.
There it is. That's why I was like, why are we talking about this? Now I know.
Well, no, it's a
Josh has had a bad day.
Like once every 2 weeks, there's a guy, it's called, what's his name? His videos are on Instagram too. It's a chef reaction. He's a chef that watches people make homemade recipe. Like,
I like him. Is he like, what are you doing? No, that's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, he's very like sarcastic and
okay.
That's the only TikTok guy I like.
Oh, okay. So he's a TikTok guy. So look, you know what? I take it all back, Josh. Clearly, I like TikTok, just on different platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see half of the stuff that very loosely. I don't know how much you can see, but you can watch.
Hey, if you're talented, you're talented.
You can watch the shorts and reels on Instagram until you're blue in the face or your phone dies. So,
all right, what were you gonna say, Phil?
No, I was gonna go blue in the face for Louis, but
oh, okay,
yeah.
Well, if anyone in the hobby has been impacted by it, I feel bad for you, and probably be a good time to work on diversification.
And cap cuts from TikTok apparently, and they're in the axe too. And I paid for that premium version, so I freaked out and ran downstairs. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in Canada. We're good.
Phil forgets what country he lives in half the time.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Louis, you want to do another quarter century team update?
Yeah, I got a couple of them that we can run through here. quick little refresher. The NHL kicked off 2025 by naming franchise stars from the past quarter century. And then NHL is announcing the first and second quarter century teams for each franchise that's existed since the year 2000. It's voted on by a panel of media, retirees, and executives specific to each club. These players are judged to have been the best for their team in the past 25 years. So the next one we're going to jump into here is the Dallas Stars. Now, the best season for them is a Stanley Cup final appearance in 99, 2000, and 2019, 2020. They have had 9 different coaches since 2000 and 6 GMs, including Brett Hull and Les Jackson, who were co-GMs from 07 to 09. I had no idea Brett Hull was a co-GM. No clue.
Me either.
Jenks, you owe me a beer.
So for Dallas's voted on first team, quarter century team, we have on forwards Jamie Benn, Jiri Lehtinen, and Mike Modano. Defense is Miro Heiskanen and Sergei Zubov. And in goal, Marty Turco. Any
Thoughts?
No, pretty straightforward. I didn't have much of an opinion. I wanted to, trust me, I would if I did, but I don't.
Yeah. All right. Move on to second team.
Second team forwards, Brendan Morrow, Joe Pavelski, Tyler Seguin. On D is John Klingberg and Esa Lindell. Then in goal, Eddie Belfour.
Klingberg, eh?
He sort of fell off a cliff the last few years, didn't he?
Yeah, I know, there was big debate. I think Toronto might sign him again. Who knows?
Well, we had him for 2 years. 2 years ago.
Yeah, he wasn't good.
Well, they wanted, Ottawa's like, oh, there's always a few people that want Klingberg in Ottawa. And it's like, no.
Next up is the Carolina Hurricanes. Their best season, Stanley Cup win in 05-06. They've had 5 coaches since 2000 and 4 GMs. First team for the Hurricanes, Sebastian Aho, Rod Brindamore, Eric Stahl. On D, you got Jacob Slavin and Glenn Wesley. In net, Sam Ward.
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's Carolina.
Yeah.
If it was up to Ron Francis, he'd put himself in all the positions.
Ooh. Rod the pod.
Ooh.
Second team, Ronnie Francis, Jordan Stahl, Justin Williams. On D, Justin Falk, Brent Heidekin, and Arturas Urbe.
Artur Zerbe.
In
That
goal.
goalie helmet is amazing. Heidekin,
Yeah,
is he
yeah,
a
the Jofa.
Minnesotan? Louis, is Heidekin
What?
a Minnesotan?
Don't know. We can look because those are the only 2 I have. So
Yeah, it's from St. Paul.
yeah, okay.
Oh, you know who he's married to? Christy Yamaguchi. You know the figure skater?
Oh,
Christy
he is?
Yamaguchi? I know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is Geraldo married to? Isn't he married to a skater?
Why do you guys keep saying Geraldo? Who's Geraldo? Like Riviera?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that dude. I thought he
don't
was
think
The
married.
guy who
Geraldo's
got his
in there.
nose broken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
How do you spell Geraldo?
G.
Oh,
E.
Geraldo.
Is that Rico Suave? Rico Suave.
I thought
He's
he was
married to Erica Michelle Levy.
Okay, well then they got divorced. I swear.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, he's been married a bunch. No, I don't think he's married to Cynthia Cruikshank.
Ugh,
He was
whatever.
married to before.
I don't know.
Why
give
are we
up.
talking about Rivaldo Rivera?
Because I don't
You're the one who keeps bringing it up.
Me?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Louis' fault. He's the
My
producer.
bad.
Okay.
I did it. Josh, you're up.
All right, we have
Isn't-
2 teams today.
Well, hold on. Isn't you guys don't find the Artur Zerbe? Who is this first team? Can you go back
Oh,
before I
Cam
say
Ward.
something- before I?
Cam Ward.
Okay, yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah. And
Never
we
mind.
had this discussion on Mount Rushmore too.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to your own
No,
show.
okay, fine. I'm sorry.
We're gonna move on. This CT scanning.
I look very.
Oh,
I think I look pretty good.
support.
You're like in the Netherlands army or something like that. That's what
Yeah.
it made me.
Speak me
Dutch
Deutsch.
army. You have to watch on YouTube. Put
Yeah.
Phil in a funny costume. Well, thanks to Cigar Scott and many others actually posted this in our Discord. Apparently, Topps has taken some initial steps to discourage vendors or shop owners from using CT scanning devices on boxes and then reselling said boxes. They basically updated their agreement with vendors and shops that participate in their direct buying program to include language against using intrusive devices, which sounds very icky, but I guess it means stuff like CT scanning.
And they want
No
you to rat
intrusive
out.
devices.
They want you to rat out other people too, right? If you know
Mhm.
and you don't say anything, that's just as bad.
Yes.
Yep. The policy states Topps will permanently suspend all direct accounts that uses or has ties to what Phil said, the practice of CT scanning devices. They're basically saying their agreement that they will come after you and recover direct and indirect damages. They're gonna sue
You will tell us who is scanning.
Now, here's a quote
What
from
more?
the agreement. Blind packaging is a core tenet of the trading card collecting experience and is a practice that goes back to the creation of trading cards. Topps uses significant time and resources to ensure collectors can experience the joy of the hobby, including by randomizing trading card products so that the contents of any factory seal pack or case are unknown until purchased and opened by the end collector. Now, I don't know, you're thinking like, ooh, strongly worded letter or legalese, big deal. I think, though, that this is significant for a couple of reasons. First, we finally have a manufacturer coming out and acknowledging that this is an issue. Topps is not taking this step unless this is a problem, right? That they're like, okay, we have to start doing something about it.
And Jason on the Sports Card Nonsense podcast also got asked that question, and he said they're keeping eye on things and seeing how things come out in the new year, right?
Yep. And then I think beyond that, it's a first step in, you can't take action unless it's like written that it's a no, right? That's policy. So this gives them the foundation to take steps to punitively punish or whatever, people that do it or block people from buying their platforms. I'm probably a first step along the way. And and then, beyond that, I'm wondering, it's like, well, now do the other manufacturers follow suit and issue policies or preventive measures? I probably think there's a good chance it happens now. You don't want to be the one card manufacturer that isn't doing anything about this, right?
I have a question, not necessarily about CT scanning. So Topps came out and said all this. Great.
Yeah.
I have a question because I'm naive about corporations and whatnot. So Fanatics bought Topps, correct? Correct. Okay. So is it Fanatics telling Topps you got to do something here, or is Topps its own building? Like, does Mr. Fanatics come in and tell Topps what to do, or does Topps their own entity here? And like, I know I sound ridiculous, but I don't know that corporate structure life.
Sure. I think Fanatics has multiple entities. One of them is Fanatics Collectibles, which owns Topps, I believe. So, like most corporations, for tax reasons and liability reasons, it's a daisy chain of different entities that sort of go together. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure this has gone to the highest level of Fanatics.
Okay.
And that they've been involved in something like that. I think it's a positive sign. I want to see trading card companies become proactive about this. So I'm happy that they're doing this. And I don't want...
As big as Fanatics is, I'd like to see a statement from them too then. Not just, you know what I mean?
Didn't they kind of just make one?
Well, yes, but instead of just saying Topps, I would be like, Fanatics along with our, whatever's Topps and so and so and so and so, and then get into all your jargon.
Well, you'd probably want to see a universally applied to Fanatics Live and Fanatics Collect so that they're consistent. I'm sure that will happen.
Mhm.
That would be weird if it didn't. But yeah, so good on them for doing that. All right, guys, let's move on to Hobby Mount Rushmore. We're in a second to the last team in the Metropolitan Division for Hobby Mount Rushmore. It's where we nominate who we think are the 4 most deserving players from each team to be enshrined forever. Or I guess until we decide to do this again on their hobbies Mount Rushmore. It's not a traditional Mount Rushmore. It's again Hobby Mount Rushmore. So the selection criteria that we use is the players' individual awards and accomplishments, meaning to the franchise, fans, and community, and then strength of their hobby markets. Today's mission from God is to successfully tackle the New York
You
Rangers.
better believe it is.
Does not ever get old. Often called rags by rival fans. I tried to look that up and it was confusing, like where they got it's a mean playoff Rangers, but then you get into the whole history of the Rangers name and it goes back to like some like text guy because it is kind of odd. It's like, what does Rangers have to do with New York? But anywho, so I don't know, Louis, when someone says a rags, does that offend you as a big Rangers fan? Of course, one of your 154 teams.
No, I'm good. I mean, they're in the 115, 116 area, so it's okay.
All right, well, we're gonna start on easy street and go with Mark Messier, number 1. Played an incredible 25 NHL seasons. 10 of the 25 were spent with the New York Rangers, and it was in 2 stints. He started with 6 seasons from 91, 92 to 96, 97, then came back from 4 years from 2000, 2001 to 2003, 2004. His 698 games played with the Rangers is the 15th most in franchise history. Messier's 250 goals, good enough for 8th on the franchise leaderboard. 441 assists is 6th, and 691 points is 5th most in franchise history. Messier captained the Rangers to their first Stanley Cup win in 54 years, ending one of the longest championship droughts in NHL history.
And he
Now,
called it. Remember, he called it, or he didn't call the win. He called the second win. Wasn't it a comeback? They came back. Yeah, game 6.
Now, because we've never won a championship, Louis, is that a drought or is that just yet? Because I think a drought implies that you had something and then it went away.
It was there and it was gone.
You can't have something you've never had. So I don't know what would be in though. I bet you will break that record though. 54 years of something else.
No,
whatever you.
It was
call
also
it.
the Rangers' last Cup win. That victory. Now, his leadership during the playoffs, including the famous guaranteed Game 6 victory in the Eastern Conference Finals against Bob Louie's New Jersey Devils, and delivered a hat trick in the game, became one of the most legendary moments in NHL history. Messier won the Hart Trophy in New York in 91-92. Also, the Ted Lindsay Award for that season too. Was an NHL first All-Star team selection that same year. He did not win the Mark Messier Leadership Award because it didn't exist and would have been awkward.
Here you go, Mark.
I present me with the Mark Messier Leadership Award.
He's not LeBron James. LeBron James would present himself an award for sure.
Stop. His number 11 was retired in New York in 2006, and he also served as a team captain both stints, like all the years he was there. And then his number 11 was retired by the team. Last year, per card ladder sales history, 9,735 Mark Messier cards were sold in the secondary markets. Of those sales, 132 were for more than 500 US. The all-time highest selling Mark Messier card is this 1980 O-Pee-Chee rookie PSA 10 that sold for $25,506 US dollars in February of 2021.
That PSA registry, eh? Holy moly. It's got to be it. It's got to be the flex there.
I want to go back and look at, I'm trying to think top of mind, how many guys have been on 2 Hobby Mount Rushmores. So I think Pavel Bure, Gretzky, and maybe Messier are the only 3.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I assume no issues with Mark Messier and the Rangers Hobby Mount Rushmore?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
We're going to move on. Rod Gilbert. affectionately known as Mr. Ranger, is one of the most iconic players in New York Rangers history. He played 1,065 games with the Rangers, which is third most in team history. Do you guys know Rod? I know Rod. Do you know Rod, Phil?
Gilbert, of course, he's Mr. Ranger.
Yeah.
Did he? I don't even. Did he play for another team? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Hmm.
He's a franchise's all-time leader in goals with 406, second in assists with 615, and has the most points in Rangers history with 1,021. And of course, is the only player to score 1,000 or more points with the New York Rangers. He's a one-time first All-Star team selection. He also won the Bill Masterton Trophy with the team in 1976. His number 7 was retired by the team in 1979, making him the first Rangers player to ever have their number retired. Gilbert was a famous part of the gag line.
What? He's a part of the what?
The gag line.
GAG?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to
Goal a
explain
game.
that.
Goal a game. I know.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely should. Goal a game. Alongside Jean Rattel and Vic Hatfield, the line was one of the most famous and dominant and prolific in NHL history. Gilbert scored 30 or more goals in 5 seasons and consistently led the Rangers in offensive production through the 60s and 70s. His best season came in 1971-72 when he recorded 43 goals, 97 points, helping the Rangers reach the Stanley Cup final. Last year in per card letter sales history, 1,436 Gilbert cards sold on the secondary markets. Of those sales, 8 were for more than 500 US. This one was a little bit tough with the hobby Mount Rushmore thing because there's not a huge hobby market, but he's Mr. Ranger. So what do you do, right? And he's all-time points leader, that sort of stuff. But yeah, he is not the strongest hobby market. The all-time highest selling Rod Gilbert card to date is this 1961 Topps rookie PSA 9 that sold for $3,050 US in April 2018. I was thinking like Superman when I see this photo.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Hey, look, it's got the old before Christopher Reeve Superman, that other gentleman.
Yeah, so I don't know. Thoughts on Rod Gilbert? He's got to be there, right? Even though he's got a
of
small
course,
market.
yeah. The more I think about it, the Rangers, you have to pick a certain 4, I would think. I'm pretty sure I know your next 2. I mean, it's got
pressure's on. Pressure's on.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, number 3, Brian Leetch.
Yeah.
So played all but 7. Okay.
I know you're
played all but 76 games of his 1,205 game career with the Rangers. He spent 17 seasons in New York. His 1,129 games played with the team is second most in franchise history. Leetch's 240 goals is 10th most. He's got more assists with the Rangers than any other player with 741 in total, and his 981 points with the team is second most to Gilbert in franchise history. Now, all of these rankings I just mentioned are amongst all positions. So when you isolate them just to defense, he's in a class entirely of his own when it comes to the Rangers and really the history of the league. He's way up there with a lot of the all-time greats. He won the Calder Trophy as the NHL's top rookie in 1989. Leetch was part of the 1994 Stanley Cup championship team as well. He won the Conn Smythe Trophy for that cup run, and leading all players in scoring during the playoffs with an amazing 34 points in 23 games for defense. Wow. That's pretty crazy. Showcasing his dominance. Additionally, Leetch was a 2-time Norris Trophy winner with the team. He had 102 points in 91-92 and is one of only 6 defensemen to ever score 100 points in an NHL season. Can you guys name the other 5?
Ah, Jesus. Paul Coffey?
Okay, that's 1.
Bobby Orr?
Bobby.
2. I got 3 left.
This is tough.
I don't
but
know.
It shouldn't be. No, it's ridiculous. Ray Bork?
Well, that's 3. Now, there's 2 left. Now, Phil, you should be completely embarrassed.
Erik Karlsson?
It's 4.
I was going to say.
Any guesses?
Give a hint. Western, Eastern?
Modern, not?
Eastern.
So that's modern.
No.
No, it wouldn't be. Well,
No,
I don't know. I don't know.
No, we're not. No, yeah.
Oh, no, Ray Bork didn't do it. I'm sorry. It was Bobby Orr, Paul Coffey, Al McInnes, Dennis Potvin,
Dennis
and Eric
Potvin.
Carlson.
Dennis Potvin. I should have had McInnes. I wouldn't have gotten, but I did.
Yeah, no Ray Bork.
No Ray Bork. Wow,
Nope.
that's interesting.
Brian Leach's number 2 was retired by the Rangers in 2008, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2009.
Oh, geez, you okay?
Per card ladder sales history, 2,775 Brian Leach cards sold last year in the secondary markets. Of those sales, one lonely sale is for more than 500 US. The all-time highest public sale is this 2010-11 Panini Dominion Shield Patch Auto Silver Ensigns 101 raw that sold for $796 US in December 2021.
Got a very nice signature.
Yeah,
it is a very nice signature. Pretty cool card too.
Very nice card. Yeah.
All right, now there's a lot of pressure, Phil. So we're on the same page through the first 3, right?
Yeah. Listen, if you obviously have picked, go ahead. You're
okay. All right.
King.
The last player that I've selected for the Rangers Hobby Mount Rushmore is a Tendy who goes by Hank.
Yeah. There's who else?
Henrik
would you pick?
Lundqvist.
Harry Howell. Like, come on. Like,
for 15 seasons, Lundqvist was the heart and soul of the Rangers, and he was not just their best player, but symbol of consistency and excellence. His ability to deliver in high-pressure moments, especially the playoffs, solidified his reputation as one of the greatest goaltenders of his era. His 887 games played with the team is the most in franchise history, and more than 200 games ahead of second-place Mike Richter. His 459 wins is the most in franchise history as well. He has 310 losses too, but I guess who's counting? Right? Over the span of 887 games, Lundqvist posted a 2.43 goals against and 0.918 save percentage. Pretty good. His 64 shutouts is the most in Rangers history as well. Lundqvist sent an NHL record for 30-plus wins in 7 consecutive seasons to start his career. He was the Vezina Trophy winner in 2012 and helped lead the Rangers to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2014, their first appearance since they won in 1994. Hank's 61 career playoff wins is the most in franchise history, and he also holds the NHL record for most playoff Game 7 wins with 6 total. So 6 times he won a Game 7 of the playoffs.
Awesome.
Lundqvist was awarded the King Clancy Memorial Trophy in 2021. His number 30 was retired by the team in 2022. And per card ladder sales history, 4,800 Henrik Lundqvist cards sold in the secondary markets in 2024. Of those sales, 33 were for more than 500 US. And the highest publicly selling Lundqvist card to date is this 2005-06 Young Guns BGS 10 pristine black label that sold for $4,423 US in September of 2024, just a few months ago.
Those black labels, those pristine labels, eh? Wow.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like a perfect card, man. It's worth $5K.
I just love that label in that. I like that label in that slab.
It's nice. Yeah.
Better than
and it
the
hits you.
Gold. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I did okay, Phil?
I think you did. I don't think you could have done it any other way. Yeah.
What about you, Louis? You in agreement?
Mentions?
Yeah, I know the time you put into doing this, so I'm not arguing with you at all.
That doesn't mean he's right. Listen, effort does not mean, like, just because someone tried really hard at a thing and it didn't end up very good, that doesn't mean you need to praise them. Whatever the thing is.
I didn't praise him. I just said I wasn't going to argue with him.
Fine.
All right. Well, for snubs and honorable mentions, there are a few guys that we could mention. Jean Rattel had 336 goals, 813 points with the team. Maybe someone make a case for Breadman Panarin, right? He's got pretty big hobby market, 7,000 cards sold in the secondary. Just hasn't really done anything in the playoffs with the team. So that would probably be the mark against him there. And then Mike Richter was a cup-winning goalie in 1994. Had the iconic penalty shot save here on Pavel Bure during the playoffs, but he's not ahead of Lundqvist. So I don't know, anyone else, Phil, that comes to mind, or Louis that comes to mind?
Not particularly, man. Like maybe Bathgate. Did you say Bathgate?
No.
I'd
think it's a stretch.
I don't know a lot of like the older Rangers.
Like Adam
Doesn't seem like
Graves,
that-
maybe.
Yeah.
Andy Bathgate, Adam Graves come to mind. I mean, SB played for them, but not a long time.
Kreider, I mean, had a
Oh yeah,
decent
Chris
career
Kreider,
there.
Peter Nedved. I don't know. Those are all the Rangers I know, I think.
Well, the next team up is the last team in the Metropolitan Division. We'll do that next Monday. The Columbus Blue Jackets.
I think I'm turning into a Columbus fan.
CBJ.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to our second installment of Breaker's Corner with our good friend and breaker Amber, better known as Moneymoose. We're following along as she kind of builds and continues to build her small business in the hobby. Amber's based in the U.S., breaks exclusively on Whatnot, I think. I'm pretty sure about that. It's part of our overall goal to tell the stories of lots of people like we do with Sylvan. We're doing with the Carter and Justin in Saskatoon, just to tell the stories of people that work in different aspects of the hockey hobby. So for part 2 with Amber, we had a bit of a special treat as Moose happened to be with her breaking collaborator, Breezy The Breaker, and he joined too. And I guess with that, we hope you enjoy our conversation with Moneymoose and Breezy.
The moose is loose. It's time for an update on the world of breaking with Moneymoose.
Well, we finally got to hear your song together.
I was just going to say, I forgot where we left off last time.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're very, very excited to be joined again by Moneymoose with special guest Breezy The Breaker. So we got a 2 for Phil on the show this week. Now I got to tell the story again about that little intro. So we had 2 made because I was hopeful, but I wasn't exactly sure how you would respond to the Moose call.
The Josh's nervousness was an episode in itself. I'm the one who was like, just do it. Who cares?
I think that was the most feedback I got in the last episode is how did you like your intro?
Well, it works. He came back. The call worked.
You're back. So what's up, Amber? What's up, Breezy? How are you guys doing?
Good. Happy to be here again.
Good to be back.
Okay. Well, we got a lot to talk about. So we were talking a little bit before recording, but I want to swing back. Are you guys about to become Pokemon breakers now? Or sorry, Breezy.
It's Pokemon, Josh. It's
Pokemon.
Yeah, hey.
It sounds so foofy to say it that way, but it's all the rage. So are we ditching hockey or what? What's happening?
I mean, Marvel's something too to look at. We have Marvel Rivals. Marvel's picking up some steam too.
Did you do any Looney Tunes breaks?
No, but that stuff looks interesting. Yeah.
I did. I bought a blaster. I'm going to open it tonight.
There's a lot of cool stuff coming out. Like, there's just really cool stuff
Everything
everywhere.
looks really fun, and when you've been doing like just hockey for a minute, it's like this might be cool to just rip for like 10 minutes and get everybody involved. But then it's like then you just miss hockey again.
Yeah, sure. I think it's okay to spice it up every now and
Yeah,
again.
you have to.
All right, I want you guys to take us through a little bit of the holiday timing, like through Christmas and then back today. We've heard a little bit that, things slow down naturally a little bit around the holidays because people get busy, money has to go other places. But actually, in the last couple weeks or 2, things have picked up. Have you noticed that at all, or have you seen a different situation?
Yeah, I would say I'll give my opinion, then you can give your opinion. I think I saw that 100% we did. Like during the month of December, it was pretty slow. It was slower than usual. The year before, we talk about like seasonal like variations. I think the year before it wasn't like that. Like it was kind of higher in the month of December. This month definitely slowed down. But it was cool. We got to like hang out with the community. We weren't necessarily breaking as much, but we learned a lot. We talked about like what's everyone getting for Christmas. Like people got ideas. I think we built like a community where we all go there. Obviously to break, to rip cards, but it was cool just getting to like hang out with everyone. But definitely slowed down. It's definitely picking up now.
Gotcha.
So.
I think like the last couple of months, the biggest thing was the post strike. That was like the biggest thing we had to deal with because we're pretty much in the minority ripping hockey cards in the US, and we couldn't get cards to Canada, who's Canadians are a big percentage of the customers. So that was the biggest like financial like issue that we had to deal with the businesses.
Did you hold off on mailing, or did you just bite the money bullet and go
we
FedEx?
We held off on mailing only because we can't really ship outside of Whatnot because Whatnot insures and covers everything. If I have a $20,000 package and it's lost, they'll cover it. But if I go do that outside, who knows what'll happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we held everything for like months. Everybody was cool about it.
But we still had a lot of people from Canada buying in. And we had like, I know we've talked about this. Like I had a table dedicated to all my Canada buyers, and now they're slowly starting to say, "Hey, ship my packages out."
Yeah, we had a little workaround.
We're more patient than the Americans, so
I think so. I think so.
Shots fired.
Accuracy. It's accurate.
All right. It's all right. Well, now the next thing, or I don't know how big this is. You have to tell us. Is this whole impending TikTok ban? I know, Breezy, you got your start as a TikTok dancer, so this must be pretty emotional for you.
Yeah, I was doing that.
He told us not to bring that up, Josh. What are you doing?
Will that affect you guys at all?
Okay, so I think TikTok's interesting. We've gotten a lot of people from TikTok that we didn't know we were getting from TikTok until we always go live on TikTok at the same time as Whatnot. And we don't always know who's coming from TikTok. So a lot of times they have like different usernames, or they don't say, "Hey, I'm coming over there." But some of our biggest buyers are like, "Yeah, I came from TikTok. I came from TikTok." So yeah, I think even if we don't have a ton of like viewers in the room, we get a lot of new buyers that are like real buyers.
I'm confused. I thought Whatnot is TikTok?
No, so we are able to co-stream on a couple of different platforms. So, for example, we can co-stream on YouTube. We don't, because we just get banned in every single country because of music. Okay. And we're more like entertainment. When we break, we like to listen to music. And
I wish I could. Yes, Amber, I wish I could jam out every time I do something silly. I wish I could just play like Fleetwood Mac in the background. Or
every time. That's the downside of YouTube and TikTok.
Music's
the biggest issue. But yeah, TikTok we can co-stream on, and we just can't sell breaks on TikTok through the co-stream capability.
All business is through Whatnot, but you can observe through TikTok at the same time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a great way to pull people in that maybe weren't aware of you, that are on TikTok.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have come over and said like, "Oh, we never even knew about Whatnot," because Whatnot doesn't do the best job like promoting. There's so many people that don't know what Whatnot is. And
do they promote it all?
No. And then TikTok's also weird because it could say you have like 10 people in the room, but like there's a lot of times I'm scrolling TikTok, I won't actually join the live. I'll just watch it from like the outside. So there could be 100 people just watching you without clicking in, and you think you have like 10 people in there, but you never know. Like if someone comes up to me at a show and is like, "Oh, I know you from TikTok," I'm like, "How?" It's just me and myself in my chat.
You had more people at the like Toronto Expo that were like, "Oh yeah, we know you from TikTok," because we were like, "Who are you?" And they're like, "We're always in the live," and we're like, "Oh really? What's your name?" They're like, "So and so on TikTok," and we're like, "Oh,
are you on TikTok?"
Yeah, exactly.
You're such a boomer, Phil. Everybody's on TikTok.
I don't think anyone would watch us on TikTok. Is it for the young people?
Oh no, our show. No, we're too old.
Okay. Do you have TikTok?
It's illegal. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm allowed.
You gotta get swiping.
Yeah.
How big is, and you guys might not know this, but I'm just curious, how big is TikTok as a breaking platform? Are there a lot of people, even outside of hockey, that break solely on TikTok that are going to be scrambling now?
Answering that question.
So there's a couple people that break hockey on TikTok that I've met over the years. They did a thing where they were like banning people for gambling because you weren't first allowed to do that on TikTok. Now I think they found a way around it, but it's a lot of Canadians, like the Crazies. I don't know if I think you've met like the Crazies, like Unique. There's a couple people on there that I know. Busy.
Okay. It seems like they do more like personals and like divisionals on TikTok.
Yeah, but it is a lot of Canadian customers that ask like, "How do I buy? How do I?" They want to just like get into a personal or a divisional break or something. But there is some good breakers on there. I just don't know.
Phil, all the Canadians are like against Whatnot because I think they're not knowledgeable about it, so they go to TikTok.
Okay. Yeah, well, I've downloaded Whatnot like 5 times. I've gone into Moneymoose break and I'm like, I'm out. I there's too much going on, and I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'll just Expo. Yeah, it's for me, I it's too many apps, too many buttons. I don't know, but I'm happy it's working for breaking. That's good.
Does Whatnot do how would you say, like, good, bad, or decent, or where in the spectrum of making it easy to do business with Canadians as far as having like reasonable shipping prices, et cetera, et cetera?
I think Go ahead. You go.
No, go.
It's your show.
No, I brought you here with me.
The fireplace brings us all together. It's
It's the last time you're going to be on with me. So no.
I think Whatnot doesn't do a good job, and I'm going to tell you why. Because we're pretty much obligated to send every package. Somebody from Canada might want us to hold and like bundle their stuff before we ship it out, you know, with the duties and everything. So for that aspect, yeah, it's also a little pricey. It's around $17 to like shipping, but I guess that's kind of how much it is nowadays.
Insurance come with that, with your shipping costs? It's incorporated?
Yeah, insurance will come with it, and then
that's big. That's huge.
The big issue is if you spend like $500 in my room, I can't say like he got $10 worth of cards. It's going to value your package at the total. It's going to say $500.
Oh, yeah. So I message every eBay guy, say, "Can you put my package at $20, please?" And they usually do.
That's the biggest issue, because then you're paying.
We listen to the buyers though. Like the buyers who know or learn over time, they'll say, "Hey, can you hold my cards until next week?" So we'll hold them here, and then they'll buy a team that's $40 and say, "Hey, can you just use that label to ship everything?" And we say, "Yeah."
Yeah, we have workarounds.
Ignorance is bliss. So the customer is always right. So we have a lot of Canadians that will hold for a few days if they tell us to hold. They just have to tell us, "Hey, hold my cards," and then they know to buy a label or buy a team that's under a certain amount and tell us to bundle everything together.
Long story short, don't be scared to break with us if you're from Canada.
Well, I would have never have imagined until I became good friends with Phil, and he's educated me. Like he's bought like a $500 card in the US and then gets an extra $250 tax bill when it shows up.
Yep.
And it's like there'd be a new revolution in America if that happened. Like I
we put
can't
up with it.
believe
We like it.
Oppressive the Canadian tax system is. It's crazy.
Well, do you want to know what everyone's doing now?
What?
They're
going across the border illegally?
No, they're using a virtual mailbox in the States.
Yeah.
So they buy something in the States, it goes to a virtual mailbox, like a Ship My Cards, for example. And then it's up to the buyer to say, yes, ship my stuff, and the buyer values it. So if you're in Canada, you buy with us, you have everything sent to Ship My Cards for all intents and purposes, right? I'm not going to promote them. Yeah. It's just any virtual mailbox, right? And then they send you a picture, "Hey, we received these cards," and you say, "Cool, ship them to me. This is the valuation. It's $10." And now, boom.
That works. Yeah. My loophole is Louis or Josh's house, and then went twice.
Yeah, you guys hear that story? So all of a sudden, 500 and some cards, no joke, show up from ComC, and we have to be hockey card mules and take them over. And of course, we got searched. It's like, I'm going to end up in jail because of Phil's stupid ComC cards. That's
why my shillelagh.
Oh my gosh!
I ordered a weapon as well, but it was made out of wood, so they can't say anything.
What'd they say to you? You had to cross over the border. What'd they say? What do you got back there?
I pulled them over, yeah.
Oh, well, we had a minivan. It was when we did Rip Party, and we had a minivan that was like full from. You couldn't put a box of Kleenex in the van. It was that full, and they pull us over, and there's like an insane amount of like border or whatever you guys have like some like 18-letter acronym like
CPFPBSA
or
Canadian Border Services Agency,
and there was like 100 people there, and like 7 come over, and they all kind of like they open up the back hatch in the minivan, and about 4 of them stand around. We could hear them talking to each other. We're in front, guys, and they're like, "Take your hands out of your pockets." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sorry," And then they finally decided that honestly they didn't want to unpack it was like too much work to. And I don't blame him, because there was so much crap in there that it would have been there all day searching, and we didn't have anything bad anyways. So,
well, you did bring me my cards tax free. You muled them. Isn't that crazy? So listen to this: 500 was like $480 to ship to my house, or $8 to Louis.
Yeah,
I have on my Instagram. There's the price. Like I screenshotted the price from ComC to send to my house. It was over $400, or $8 to Louis' house. Something's broken. Something's wrong.
Yeah. Well, and they were dressed for Louis, so I suppose he'll go to jail. So
yeah. He looks mean. He'll be fine inside.
All right. So last week, Upper Deck had their Certified Diamond Dealer Conference in Orlando. None of us were there, but let's say they decide to want to get develop a stronger relationship with breakers. So they do like the Upper Deck like certified breakers conference or something like that. And you guys were invited. What are a few ideas that you would have for them to help improve your business or make collectors more excited about hockey products?
Ooh, I got distracted with the thought of that. That would be sweet if we had a relationship with Upper Deck of any sort.
First and foremost, I'm pretty sure we did get invited, all of us. I think maybe our invitations were like just like floating in like a river somewhere. They fell out of the bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
I mean, I think like getting a preview of the product and being able to help promote it before it's released, I think is really sweet. There's certain Instagram accounts I follow personally to get more educated on a product. And then for Upper Deck, I go to Facebook to actually get the good photos of like what we can expect.
Yeah, the gallery. Yeah.
So I think that's something, is just to be made more well aware of what's in the pipeline, what's coming out, why is this good, why should we promote it. Having like exclusive product like the CDD stuff, there's so much hype around it, right? Just because it's hard to get. So like
seems exotic.
It seems exotic.
CDD.
And really, I mean,
CDD.
I haven't personally ripped the new CDD for Black Diamond, but I know that was like everyone's talking about that. I don't know how much more expensive it is, but just having some cool stuff that's like unique, and just being more educated. We have a lot of questions about product even still to this day, that we just kind of figure out by ripping more and more and more, and we make a lot of guesses. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, no, I think Upper Deck is like missing a mark, like not getting breakers involved. I think there's nobody that really entertains or hypes up a product like a breaker. I don't care if you're like monotone, if you're crazy. Like when I go live on release day, there's a lot of people in there. Like I'm ripping the product like on the time that you're supposed to do it. Don't get me wrong, like I've ripped the product early, I broke the rules. I'm kind of like a changed man nowadays. And
you did, Breezy.
What reputation matters to him now?
Yeah, the reputation.
I
grew. I
He's
want the
evolved.
relationships. I've evolved. You know what I mean? I realized it was wrong. Cool. My invitation wasn't in the mail for the CDD.
I also think like Upper Deck, they could value, like we have a lot of feedback, and we're not here to just like rip the product apart.
No,
but we rip more of it than a lot of people, right? There's a lot of breakers that rip as much as us too, but I'm just saying we get firsthand, we see what the chat's saying, we get to see what our opinion is, the quality of the cards. Like I'd call up Upper Deck right now and say, how could you have this expensive of a product and forget the case hit? Whoever like is responsible for this section missed the mark, because you don't put a case hit and someone spends $400 on a box, and you put not a case hit, I'm sorry, just like a hit in the box and there's no auto. That's like really disheartening. And they should know about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or just, hey, this product's awesome. Like the feedback's been phenomenal. They really like this aspect of it. Like the cup, we've never gotten better feedback on a product ever than 22-23 cup.
Yeah, it was great.
What a year. That was smashing home run. That was
best cup they've released.
To kind of piggyback off what you said though, I think where did Phil go?
You must have. He'll be back. His probably internet went out, but we'll keep going.
I think when it comes to ripping a product, you can't change my mind. The breakers know the product more than anybody, right? If you went to me or Moose or anybody that rips a lot, we can probably rip a cup box or a Black Diamond box and probably tell you exactly what's going to be in it. If there's about to be a hit, what's wrong with so-and-so card, you know what I mean? If the breakers sat down at an Upper Deck round table and Upper Deck got feedback from the breakers, products I feel like could just be extremely better, because no one's ripping that much. We know it the most. We know what needs to improve and what's wrong, and where else would they get that feedback? The guy that comes into the shop and rips a box and goes home?
Yeah, you're opening up so many boxes that it gives you a unique way or perspective on. All right, Phil, you're back.
I'm back.
Back from computer misery. So we'll pick up where we left off. I have a couple of follow-up questions on this. Lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
That's bad. Phil, I blame you. Okay, so we were talking about having I know what I was going to talk about. So I did get some feedback from people that were there that do a lot of breaking too. And one of the things that they said that they communicated, and I'm curious if you guys will agree with this, is that from their perspective, they want like more like higher tier products, like nothing like it goes the cup, and then you have like ultimate and premier, and then a bunch of like you know, more probably hobbyist products or like collector hobby store products. Like it's really hard to take the time and keep people's energy opening up Parker's Champions, even though it's kind of fun to open up yourself at your home where you're looking for one card in a box of 20 packs. Right.
Are you allowed to say that about Parkhurst when you have Phil right in the middle here? Isn't that his favorite?
You should see when the camera's off. He beats me. I know.
I think it's fun. And so like, and I know like I've heard like they're gonna make ice like a 1-pack box, and but the feedback was have more like $300, $400, $500 boxes versus $100 boxes, and that would be very controversial to a lot, because a lot of collectors that like to go boxes, they like their $100 boxes, but as breakers, those tend to be tougher for you to operate with. Am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely. Yeah. We either have, yes, you're 100% correct. There's like kind of nothing in between. We have Black Diamond too, which is good. And Platinum is really cool. Like Platinum's great. It's great for collectors too. That's like a happy medium. But I think more things that are not as many cards that are kind of the same quality as Platinum, where you have on-card autos. I think when we think about like on-card higher end products, there's really not a whole lot. Even Ultimate, I feel like they kind of missed the mark this year. So it was really like Premier Cup. Black Diamond was, I think, is amazing. I think they did an awesome job with Black Diamond, but in green, they missed the mark on it. It was too expensive, and it just wasn't. I mean, there's a lot of reasons for it, but I think that would be nice.
Ingrained a tough rip for breaks. I would think that for the price,
it was tough,
it was too expensive
because Bedard didn't show up. I think the 24-25 class is the hobby right now because Celebrini's pouring out of it. Mishkov's pouring out of it. You had cases of ingrained getting ripped. I pulled one Bedard base auto that was probably like $800.
Yeah, like, the pricing on the product doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Like $150,000 of ingrained to get a $700 Bedard.
I still have like 5 cases of ingrained.
Holy crap!
Oh yeah, they don't want to rip it because no one wants to pay for Bedard because he doesn't come out. And
so what are you going to do? So, okay, interesting. So from a business perspective, are you just going to discount that in the future? And or are you just going to, how do you lost cost fallacy that?
Yeah, I basically have to. So sometimes I just ran some ingrained recently and I discounted it. I just put like 5 ingrained into a break. But I think the problem is perception. Like you put ingrained on the table, even if it's discounted pricing, they just perceive it as there's Bedard tax. Even if you take Bedard out and do it by the box, they're like, no, it's a fortune. My teams are expensive and I'm paying Bedard tax. And they're not, but it's just a perception because it was such a fortune to rip. And I think ingrained was really cool. Like there's a lot of cool stuff in it, but every single pack you open has those signature shots and they're like overdone. So there's no value in those because they were like, you know what I mean? And the good players just weren't coming out.
It was cool for legends.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cool like Lemieux stuff like that. Really legend heavy, and it really could have been a solid product for that because everyone loves legends. But the Bedard price was messing up. But like what Josh first said, like the reason for this, there should be a higher end hockey product. The cup should be like 5,000, 10,000.
Yeah.
Let the breakers rip the cup because it's the same thing with football and basketball. No one goes into a shop, buys a $28,000 case of Flawless.
Right.
You let the breakers rip that. So put the cup 5, 10 grand, whatever they want to make it, put something in between where the cup is now, where people could probably Percy it, and let people buy into the expensive stuff. All the expensive boxes, they really are like break heavy products.
I think there's a market for something even not higher than the cup, but to your point, just make the cup better and make it more expensive.
Did you guys want to know my idea to make that happen? I think it's really good. And I've told Upper Deck this, but they don't care about me.
All right, go on.
And they shouldn't because they get feedback from everyone, so it's not like a diss on them. But I think specific game use patches would make this hobby explode. So if you pull a Connor McDavid game use patch and on the back it says this patch was certified as being used from a Connor McDavid jersey in a game he played on December 11th, 2024.
That's the coolest. They do that in baseball.
Yeah, people would lose their mind.
Yeah,
right.
Imagine a kid at his first game with his whatever, I don't care who he's with, and he turns into a hockey card collector. He will do anything he can to get that card of that day.
100%.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure they have that in baseball. I'm not saying you didn't come up with that idea because that's a great idea.
I stole it from Fanatics because that's what they're doing with like the
okay. Yeah.
I don't like him, but he's honest.
They you can scan the code and it says exactly what the game it's from. And I think that's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's very cool.
People
it immerses you into the game, right? Just like Twitter or Instagram. Oh, they responded to my little DM.
Exactly. They liked my story.
Yeah.
I think of it this way. I mean, there hasn't been a cool Patrick Kane card in 5 years. Imagine he just got his 1,300 point or whatever. Imagine there's an patch auto from the game where he got a 1,300 point.
Yeah,
that would bring all the Patrick Kane collectors out of the woodwork.
And I feel like hockey collectors appreciate that the most.
Milestones. We're milestone oriented for sure.
Yep. We do that and take base cards out of the cup, and then you got a solid product.
Hey, no, you watch your mouth. I collect base cards from the cup.
Okay. I have a friend that does that. I have a friend
Get out of here, you. Okay, listen. You said something really, really cool. So you're younger than Josh and I by a decent amount. You said everyone loves legends. I agree, but I've always wondered. I'm assuming your people that fill up your whatnot room are on the younger side. I'm sure there's outliers, but in general, does a 22-year-old guy get happy when he sees Phil Esposito? Or, but I
don't think it's all younger. Like sometimes we'll be like,
I've done a poll. Yeah. I think my room is very similar in age to me. I'm 33. So my room is like 30 to 40, but there is older guys and there is younger guys, but they do. I wouldn't say Phil Esposito, nothing against Phil Esposito.
No,
but a younger guy, like if they saw Lemieux or like
even Ray Bork,
Ray Bork or something.
Yeah, no,
like Mike Modano. They will throw Mike Modano in. Nice.
Yeah, Modano's good, but he doesn't have like the craziest hobby value.
Yeah, I know. I'm wondering. I'm always afraid because we live in a time right now where history is bad to some people, and it's not. It's important, and I worry. So Josh, Louie, and I are doing like get to know all your Hall of Famers, and it's very, very interesting. But it's just a few generations removed from us where we're making a conscious effort to learn about this stuff. I don't feel like people like my son, who's 16, gives a crap about who Frank Patrick is. Or Guy Lafleur, I'll even go way further.
Even pick your players, we have a whole different group of people that we notice take the legends real quickly. And they're not the people that are in our rooms every night.
Good. I like hearing that. That's awesome.
It's certain people. I'll even joke around and I'll be like, who cares about this guy? Like, who cares about this old guy? But like, I respect the sport and I appreciate the sport.
Yeah, you're just.
But I am like a new school guy. I like Connor McDavid. My favorite player is Kane. I like the showboaty guys, you know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate Ray Bork.
Yeah.
People of Gretzky.
There's a cool patch.
Yeah.
Or like he has a great auto. The new autos suck. They're like initials.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another kind of follow-up along your question along these lines, and I've been asking a lot of people about this. Do you think, and I don't know the answer, but do you think there's too many Wayne Gretzky cards in a year of releases? Like if Upper Deck pared down and put Gretzky cards in a couple sets where it became a huge deal to pull a Wayne Gretzky card, would that help or hurt, or do they have to put him in every single set to justify the product to your room?
I think it would hurt if there's no opportunity to pull him. We rip so much and we get Gretzky's, like you look at our Instagram and we have like David Gretzky, but not to the point where it's at all watered down. Not where it's like every night we're pulling Gretzky and McDavid.
He definitely belongs in every set. I don't know if it has to be like I mean, we rip a lot. There's not a lot of Gretzky's that got pulled, but I do have a soft spot for Gretzky right now because I keep preaching this to my room, and I don't think his auto is ever going to be the same. I think it's getting a little shaky. It's getting not as clean. So I think I'm going to give everybody that's listening right now a little piece. Go buy old Gretzky autos because I don't think we're ever going to get the clean Gretzky auto ever again, and I think it's all going to be valuable.
They're getting shaky.
They're getting shaky. They're getting,
Well, you see Howe's that by the end?
Woo! Yeah, it's kind of sad. It's sad. I think I just pulled the Gretzky out, and it was like disaster.
It's natural. Breezy, you're 33. That I can't. I have to stop because I can't. You could be on like the Outer Banks or something like that. I mean,
I wish I was John B. I'll go look for the goal.
I don't know.
I was gonna say 90210, but then I'm like, oh god, that really dates myself.
Yeah. I wouldn't have mind Tori Spelling back in the day though.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Who's Tori Spelling?
Everybody knows Tori Spelling. I have a different type of question. Okay, so Breezy or handsome, Amber, you're pretty. Do you guys have any stalkers? Like, have you ever had anyone that's been, you know, more? And I'm including you, Breezy, because like women are bold as well, right? So we're gonna treat them all the same. Because you're very personable. Yeah, like you're personable. People think they're your best friends, right? Remember, I saw at the expo, you guys had the same people at your table for like 4 hours. Did you save them?
It's very fun. It's not like it's fun to have a table and actually have it like packed and have people hanging out.
Okay.
You never know like who's.
Yeah, you got to be careful, dude.
You got to be careful. I've noticed this over the years. You have to be careful, like who, like if sometimes people ask for your number, they want to text you cards, or you got to be careful like what information you give out. It's definitely a little bit more scary from a female.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah,
because you know it's it's male dominated. So
how do you navigate that?
I don't know who they are, but they'll make comments and they'll say like in public on the chats. They'll make it like uncomfortable in the room.
Oh
yeah.
And they're
do people stand up for you then and like do the right thing and like help police and be like, okay, that's too far kind of thing?
Yeah, sometimes it gets off the rails a little bit. Like there's people that come in and I don't want to.
They're protective.
They're very protective of me. They're awesome.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
The community polices itself, hopefully.
What'd you say?
The community polices itself.
Yeah, police.
Yeah, they're like, dude, go somewhere else. Like they'll. Like we have fun, we joke around, you know, but no, they know when it's like, dude, seriously, get out of here. Like we're ripping your
and the shows are really cool. Like the Toronto Expo is like our favorite show because I don't feel like super popular. Like I know a lot of people watch us, but like when we go to the expo, it really is like a whole different like vibe. I feel like everybody like that's Canadian out there treats us like.
Oh yeah, we're all famous in Canada. That's the joke. It's like nobody knows.
That's how it feels. Like you know, there's cameras on you, and there's people wanting to like take pictures. Like, wait, are you talking to me? Like, you want to take a picture of me? Yeah, absolutely. So it's really fun. 100%.
Okay, I want to get back to some product stuff. So we're starting to get into in the next few weeks. We're gonna really get into the meat of the 2024-25 products. Like we've been dabbling. You know, you get Series 1, but that's not always the best of the best rookies, even though Shimmy Shakes is still doing good. But and then you have Artifacts, and then Black Diamond's kind of the first one. But now we're going to get into O-Pee-Chee Paper, and then Series 2 will be coming shortly after that. And you already kind of mentioned it, Breezy. We have a great crop of rookies and we have no Bedard tax.
Right.
So I think if I was in your guys' shoes, I would be actually really excited for the next like 3 or 4 months that as long as these kids continue to play well, that you know you're gonna have chases that people are genuinely excited for without the stress and complaining of how expensive the boxes are. Am I on point there or wrong?
No, I think that's the best. Like that is what the hobby's about.
No, I agree with you.
Like that's the main thing. Cheap boxes and fun.
We're getting it. Upper Deck's like finally caught up on timing. So here's where I think things are going back to normal is when all the 23-24 stuff came out, everyone already had an idea of how the rookies did. So if they were top rookies at the time they made the product, didn't sell well. Because everyone's like, oh, that's a top rookie. It didn't feel like it when you ripped it. But 24-25, it's like all these rookies have so much potential and they haven't really played in the league yet. So no one really knows. And there's a bunch of hype around it, bunch of excitement.
That was kind of like Laffy Cup, right? Like 2020. I could say this because I'm a Ranger fan, but 2021 Cup, Laffy was the poster boy. By the time we ripped it, everyone said, this guy sucks. This guy sucks. But if you got a Laffy RPA in the Cup, that was the case hit. You know what I mean? And it wasn't the most sought after card because it was Laffy.
Well, that's also why it's hard to sell 2021 products because
this is the best Canadian candy, by the way.
The Maynards.
Dylan Cousins makes all the 2021 products so expensive, but his card value in the hobby is like nothing.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to sell Sabres, for example. There's just 24-25 class right now. There's no like.
It's so good.
It's so good, and it's deep. It's a deep rookie class. Like there's a lot of potential.
Even like
Cousins, it's 2020, but I get your point.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 2020, 2021. Yeah.
Like O-Pee-Chee paper Bedard year. Weren't they charging like?
It's $200. It's still like $150 a box.
Yeah, it still didn't go down. And O-Pee-Chee paper is like what, a $50 box every year. Sometimes it goes even less than that.
Well, I think it's 60.
Yeah.
Last time I checked for this coming, so 24-25.
Right.
That comes out in a couple weeks now is $60.
Yeah, like how fun is that? Like you could rip 3 boxes almost for the price of last year's 1 box. Like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's cheap cards, but it's weird to say because I rip high-end stuff, but I actually do like O-Pee-Chee paper.
Well, it's fun.
Oh, it's my favorite. I love it.
Awesome,
the blank backs, the trading card, the playing cards.
Yeah, they're fun.
I think it's super cool for the price.
The black border retros are kind of awesome.
Yeah.
The problem with it is that you always get cool cards, but because it's a 600 card set or whatever it is, that it's hard to get the right player with the cool card, right? You're gonna get some like black border retro of some guy that you probably hadn't heard of. How real is the excitement for Celebrini? Like even in compared to, I kind of feel like that it's not. The hype will never be like Bedard, but it seems like that the steam is building for this kid.
I think the steam, at least on Whatnot, at least in my room, the hype for Celebrini was more than the hype for Bedard.
My whole room is like, Bedard sucks, Celebrini's the real deal. He's scoring, he's doing all this. Like, he's what Bedard should have been.
Yep.
I know it's controversial right now, but I mean, you got a lot of people saying that.
All I hear is a good time to buy Bedard, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He doesn't suck because Celebrini's good. Bedard's just, no one can live up to that hype. Bedard,
the expectations were so out of whack that
it was the expectations.
I believe the kid's amazing. I think,
not everybody great. That'd be good for everybody.
100%.
People just look at his size too, and they're like, he's too small. He's not
a little guy. He's a little guy.
But the hype for Celebrini is there without the box price drastically increasing, which is huge for the hobby.
Yeah, back to hockey hobby. Good.
Back to hockey hobby. Back to being able to afford boxes.
All right. I want to talk about maybe some products that people might be looking forward to and get your insight there. Now, it was very disappointing for many that Stature didn't come out for 23-24. And I would assume that's a great breaking product, just how it's configured. And it's awesome. A lot of people love it. So were you guys excited to hear it's coming back? And then what did you think about the fact that it's a combined kind of dual release? Is that a good thing or bad thing?
Okay, I'll give my opinion then. You
go.
So Stature not coming out was the biggest disappointment. The community was so excited for it. Great product, looks awesome. That was personally like one of my favorite releases since I've been breaking. Was 21-22 Stature. 22-23 was great too. But the multi-year releases, big fail, big out. Like I don't like them. I think people get confused by them. The product's never as good. They did it with Clear Cut. Clear Cut was okay. Ingrained was, I think that was one of the things that made Ingrained terrible, was that it was multi-year.
Did you notice like there was some Ingrained cards, and I got to think through this because I want to be accurate, where it was like a Bedard, let's say, like a Bedard auto, and it said like rookie signatures, and on the back of the card it said 24-25 Ingrained. It said rookie Bedard auto, wrong year. and because I was like, I don't even know like how you classify that. Is that a rookie card? Is it a second year card?
We had to like tell people this is a rookie, but it's just an error. We think it's
I don't like when it's an update card, but it's not an update with the right year. Yeah, I don't know how that happens.
Yeah,
why they do that.
Right?
I don't know, because if you pull an update from the cup, that's from 21-22. It says 21-22 because it's supposed to be in that back. So I don't know. I'm not sure what their logic is there.
Well, they also had the wrong face on some of the autos for
dude.
Premier. Or no, it was Black Diamond.
I was gonna send this to you guys. Matthew Nye's card, his auto card. I pulled it 3 times in Black Diamond. It's Pontus Holmberg. Like it's literally Pontus Holmberg.
Send it to Josh. Yeah, I want to see that.
With Matthew Nye's auto. And
I think I saw your Instagram post about that actually.
the one other thing, I don't want to crap on them, but did you see the Celebrini CDD exclusive auto card?
Oh.
Yeah, Vince Dunn.
Yeah, the Vince Dunn sticker auto. Why?
Look, that's a human. I can give a bit leeway on that. That's a human error. Someone should probably be fired or suspended. I get it. That's.
There's people winning that card probably currently for like $500 on eBay. That card's not worth $5 to me. That's got Vince Dunn's auto on it.
Yeah, that's a bobo. That's where you're just like, yeah, we screwed up. We fired the guy. We hired someone better.
An exclusive card.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lack of attention to detail, but to Phil's point, it is human error. How I would handle this if I was running Upper Deck is I would own it and then turn it into an advantage.
A win.
A mess up is always an opportunity to gain customers. So I would do a marketing campaign. Number one, I'd make fun of myself. I'd say, look what stupid thing we did.
Yep.
And then here's what we're doing about it. And you're going to get a real version with Macklin Celebrini, and we're going to throw in like a sparkle pack or whatever the Upper Deck equivalent of that would be. Then it becomes a huge win.
And Vince Dunn can deliver the card, and we'll record everything. It's like you can make everything great.
They should do that for. I don't want to get off tangent here, but even if you rip 15, 16 cup, 16, 17 cup, and there's an expired redemption, like they should do something. And they should campaign that. That's why no one wants to pay for it.
I actually think they might do like there's like some sort of like lottery that they do. But yeah, I mean, just in general, like.
I did the lottery and I got a soccer card that was worth like $5.
Oh, okay. I'm not a big fan of like the ostriching method of handling with issues where you just stick your head in the sand and wait for it to go away. I'm much more a proponent of, because what you do is you control the narrative that way. Like if you want to be like super technical about the like PR, and you turn something that is embarrassing into kind of a win, right? And then you show people that we're a company of human beings, and human beings make mistakes, and there's a million, right? And you gain, I think, people's goodwill.
Well, the way you said it is exactly how it should be done, especially in this day and age. Like in a business, if you take an L, you have to turn it into a W. So like if you just put your head down and you're just like, okay, we messed up, we're not going to say anything, whatever. But if, like what you said, you make a funny joke about it, get the social media team, the marketing team to bash yourselves pretty much, like joke about it, it makes it a good situation, because then you're like, okay, we helped it and everybody's laughing and we know we messed up.
So for a long time, I used to manage sales teams and did like a lot of media sales back in the day. And when I learned this skill, that if one of the people that worked on the team came up to me and said, oh, you have to talk to this customer. He's irate. He's sitting on the phone screaming to me. He wants to talk to you, right? All you have to do is I would immediately get on the phone and let's say his name is John. I'm like, John, I can't believe this happened. It's unacceptable. I'm mortified that we did this. We're going to do this, that, and the other. And by the end, because humans, we're all kind of predictable. If you like very aggressively go in and not even give them the time to speak and just kind of go off on ourselves, 9 times out of 10, they're apologizing to you at the end of the call, right? Where they start, it's like, well, no, I mean, you don't have to, don't get the guy in too much trouble kind of thing. It's okay. I'm really glad you guys are gonna work on it, right? But it works every time.
Yeah.
But when you don't say anything, then, when our minds are left to our own devices, we go quickly to the negative and the conspiracy.
Yep.
Right. It becomes this company doesn't care about the customer, and the fact is that, and we're talking about business in general here, not about Upper Deck and specifically, but what we do know about Upper Deck, and we've gotten to know them, is they're full of great people that genuinely really want to make good products, and they work really hard to do so. Are they perfect? No. They just, I just think the messaging could be a little bit better and could help them build that more goodwill with their customers.
Well, even for breakers, like we're not perfect. We're all human, right? But if there's ever something where someone's like, hey, I didn't get this card yet, 9 out of 10 times it's because they're opening the wrong package, right? But they will call us right away or DM us right away. And all they want us to say is, we got you, we'll make this right. And then we start looking into it. As long as they know that they're being heard and you'll work with them and make it right and not jump on the defense. You know what I mean? Like, they don't give as to why it happened. They just want to make it right. So as long as they know that you have their backs, and I feel like Upper Deck hasn't, to my knowledge, come forth on really much. And even when there's like cards that are like the QAs or QCs really bad on them, some people have had really good luck with them replacing or doing something, and other people haven't. But I think if they just go forward and they're like, hey, if XYZ happens, like, let us know, we got you. I think that would make a world of a difference.
I do too. And again, I try to look at everything objectively. And so, I'm not trying to be devil's advocate too much or stand up for companies I have no involvement in, but I'm sure or it could be, I don't know, maybe a little more complicated than we're presenting, right? Because it's like, how do you do that? And if somebody doesn't feel like they got a PSA 10, are you obligated to replace all their cards? But I think it is fixable. I think what we're talking about is achievable, and it just comes through policy and having good processes around that. But yeah, I think in general, you're so much better off owning your mistakes, and I just firmly believe in that policy. Okay, so we have stature that what did you guys think of the designs? I was surprised how negative the feedback was on the designs.
It wasn't, I'll have to see it when it comes out. It wasn't my favorite.
It might grow on everybody though.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens. Stature is one of those sets that you can't tell from a picture because it's so shiny, it's so beautiful. Like, you're just looking at a one-dimensional picture. But yeah, the double rookie class again, it's like, is it going to be Bedard tax now Celebrini? Are we doubling the taxes? Are we at
price point? Do we know the price point yet?
No.
Eh?
Like, are we at $500 a box? Are we, you know what I mean? It still is only a couple card product. You know what I'm saying?
Would it be on par with Black Diamond at this point? You're like a medium high tier?
It was always like
it's usually
$100 at the most, like 180, right? Isn't that like the stature kind of price?
I don't know. I've never bought one. I don't know.
Yeah, like 150 to 180 like US. Like, there's not a ton of cards in it, but like, it's super, super nice looking product. Last year, crazy. We did probably combined did 30 cases on release day. They filled like back to back to back to back. Like,
that's way.
And when they shut it down and didn't do it, it was like the biggest like letdown. Like, it was one of the top performing products of the year.
Stature has everything going for it. I feel like it looks good. You have low numbered non-autos. You have 101s with like the black cards. You have patch autos. You have RPAs that are like game used. You have legend stuff. Like, it has a good mix of everything. The price point's good.
It was packed with 101s. That's what
like a rich man's Parkhurst champions.
There was so many 101s coming out.
There was, and now when you rip stature, like, I ripped a couple cases recently, and it's like, what was the case hit there? I feel like it was but no, stature is a phenomenal product.
Well, and then too, like, you had, and it did take a while to maybe to your point, Breezy, it is a product that has to grow on you. Because I remember when 2019 stature came out, there was all the autos were bubbled, like they had something wrong with the surface, and then 2020 had scratches, a ton of those, and then finally in 21, that's when it clicked, when they kind of, I think, figured out, and then you had 2 really good years. What other products are you guys really looking forward to in the next few months?
Go ahead, you go first.
Usually I would say Premier and the Cup, but we're speaking about Bedard's top product ever, probably. So Premier and the Cup I'm very excited about, but not excited about the price of what it's probably going to be. Ultimate as well, Bedard Shields. I love those 3 products, like the 3 higher end products, but it's definitely tough. So, I mean, I guess put Bedard aside, just 24, 25, whatever they have planned, you know.
What'd you think about Premier? What'd you think about 23, 24 Premier?
Well,
22, 23.
22,
22, 23.
I think it was good. For some strange reason, I still like 21-22 better. I don't know.
Really?
I thought the design was cleaner, but
I know
23 better.
Yeah, but I think I've been a basher of Premiere my whole life because I'm like, poor man's cup. I think it's amazing this year.
It is good.
I opened the box. I love Premiere.
Better in my opinion, but the only thing I don't like, and I think that was the feedback of our rooms too, is that the patches for the megas were a little smaller, but they were better patches.
Mini megas.
Yeah, it was like it was a littler patch window.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of preferred the last year's, but I do like this, the 22-23 rookie class. I like better than 21-22, which is a shame because like Raymond and Caulfield are really good, but 22-23, I don't know, I root for them more. I feel like they have more depth.
Okay.
What about EX 2000? Is that on anyone's radar? Do people understand what that is?
Do people educate them, Josh?
Everyone asked me about that, but isn't it just a glorified skybox metal?
No.
You'd think, Breezy, you'd think, but I'll let.
No, I'm a Fleer guy, and I'm not objective about this, so I got to say that right out of the gate. So we've had her on our show a few times, and she's actually the head honcho designer at Upper Deck. Her name is Jean McLeod, and her husband Earl founded a company called Arena Designs, a graphic design company. And they're the ones that made all the most of the iconic cards in all the hobby. The Precious Metal Gems is based on Jean's wedding ring, which has an emerald in it. The Jambalayas, Essential Credentials, all these cards, we could go on and on and on, are Jean's designs. And then, so she worked in the 90s for Fleer and Skybox. And then a couple years ago came back to Upper Deck. Now, when the original EX 2000 came out, that has the 100,000 6-figure Michael Jordan Essential Credentials and all these cards, at the time, Fleer owned all 4 licenses. And so they designed sets for football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. The football, basketball, baseball sets came out, and before hockey was released, they lost the license. So that set never came out. So this EX 2000 is the lost hockey card set, but they're using the 2023-24 players. So it's a very romantic story.
I love it. I think it's great.
Well, if more sets had stories like this, I mean, so it's one of the most iconic sets ever in sports cards ever built, and it never came out for hockey, and so they used those designs and they applied it to the 2023-24.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
I do like. I am a sucker for a story like that. I do like that. I think the hockey community appreciates when products have a backstory like that because they
good lore. It's got good lore.
Well, that's like when we ripped that Marvel product too. That was based on all the 90 designs for like Marvel. Everyone was crazy over that.
What was her name? Jean or his name?
Yeah, her name is Jean McLeod, and it's funny. Like you'll meet her, and if you talk about, and she wears this wedding ring, and unfortunately her husband passed away a few years ago, but it's an emerald ring, and she'll point to it, and that was the inspiration for a PMG.
That's sick. That's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Now Phil this gets bored with all this because he's not a Fleer guy.
No, fine. I'm good. I'm not bored.
You have to come closer to the camera to like make sure you didn't fall asleep.
I just move around a lot.
Metal is a tough one to me because I really hope Jean is not listening. This is not gonna help my cause.
You won't hear. Don't worry.
I think PMGs, not that they're not nice looking, I think they're the most overrated card in the hockey hobby because they are completely ungradable. And
there's I actually disagree. You're right, they're ungradable. But when you understand PMGs, there's like a 9 is a 10 and an 8 is like a 9.5, right? What happened with PMGs is that there's way too many of them now. In the last metal, there's 4 different PMGs. You have the base, you have the retro, you have like the Marvel kind of themed one, and then another retro, right? And it's just too much. And one of the things that she's done, and now she hasn't worked on 23-24 metal was her first set back with metal since she did metal in the 90s for basketball. And like all those like crazy Jordan cards and that sell for stupid amounts of money, right? Yeah. And if you look at the designs, when it comes to metal, like the Jambalayas this year, they're just different, and you can kind of tell that because this was her baby, and it's always kind of meant like going back to stories, right? If you listen to like, and I'm kind of getting my head more wrapped around this idea that metal was always supposed to be out. It's kind of like spacey. It's kind of like uh futuristic or fantasy, and that's kind of the point of it, to be kind of weird,
like Blade Runner,
right. And people will complain about that. They're like, well, why are there spaceships in the background? But if every hockey set was the exact same, it would get kind of boring too. And like on our show, and we've like between Phil, Louie, and I, we talk about this all the time. It's like we're really getting better at adjusting, stuff that I don't personally prefer. I may not. I'll give you a great example. I don't love Black Diamond, but I can't. But that's me. I saw people in your rooms and other breakers are going nuts for it. So I'm obviously in the minority, and not. And I
let me make up what I said to Jean, just in case. Let's say Jean is listening.
No, I have you on speaker. She's been telling her this the whole time.
I think it came out wrong. This is my message to Jean and Skybox Metal. I think Skybox as a set, the design and everything is sick. I think I like the futuristic. I like thinking outside the box. The PMGs, they look amazing. The green ones, the red ones, whatever color they are. I think the hobby just didn't do it justice. Like everyone always says, oh, you're looking for PMGs in metal, but then you go look at last price sold on PMGs. They're like $5, some of them $10. It's like the hobby and the market didn't do metal justice.
Well, you also had
where it should be valued at.
And you had the cheese inserts, the metal picks.
Yeah.
There was nothing else in there. If you didn't get a PMG,
the design though, Jean, thank you so much. The design is amazing, very cool cards, but the hobby and the market did not do Skybox Metal justice like it should. If you pull a PMG, you should be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Some are really expensive if you get the right player.
Well, not only are you not going to the CDD, I'm pretty sure you're off Jean's Christmas card list.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but band of colors don't have the same value that they used to have either. When you talk about Black Diamond,
I've been ripping a lot of Black Diamond lately, and I guess I'm just gonna keep throwing everything out there. I think Band of Colors are second right behind PMG as the most overrated card in the hobby.
Oh, here to hear first.
I'm ripping.
Phil's not a fan either.
But again, never clean. Edge is always worn because it's a dark card.
Mm-hmm.
The pictures are bad of the players. It's like they're like it's like they used old stock or
ever that I've seen, and I don't even know how long, with the hockey history patches. Those are to me the number one card out there right now.
I think something happened. Remember how Billy did the balloons the first year and it didn't come out the way he wanted to? I think that's probably the same thing that happened with those cards. Is like it looked better on their computer, but when it came from print, they're like, oh God.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Black Diamond has really cool stuff.
The hockey history patches at least have photos that are like super memorable and like bring you back to certain moments in hockey history.
Yeah.
And they're they're super unique. I don't know. I thought those were sweet.
I like that Bedard has one for just doing it Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. I like that too. Okay, I have one more topic that I got to ask you guys about. So we just had Tops and Fanatics officially come out with like a CT scanning policy, and it appears that this isn't going away. And as I was thinking about it in relationship to a breaker, I was thinking that people shouldn't be worried, I don't think, about breakers scanning boxes, because that's counterintuitive. If you take the good cards out, your business plummets. People need to hit big cards in your breaks. But does it factor into how you think about the sources to where you're getting products? Because we had the Boston Card Hunter Nick Andrews guy on, and he told us flat out the cup is getting scanned.
Oh yeah, I've seen that guy. That guy calls that guy.
Yeah, I won't get products from like eBay. I only really get
everything now is we don't buy loose boxes. Everything's sealed. Some stuff's Upper Deck Direct. Like some, it's from shops and reputable sources. It's never just like eBay or a loose box.
Yeah.
So if someone buys with you, they're kind of paying the trust that you're doing your due diligence.
Yeah, of course.
Boxes, right?
Of course. And if it was up to me, I'd CT scan all the boxes, take all the hits out, and make it one case. And so I'd break a God case.
There you go.
I was really doing that. I wouldn't be saving anything for myself.
But if anyone's doing the cup, I mean, I don't think, I listened to your episode on it and I heard the prices and everything. And I don't think they may be doing it, but not from the people that were buying it. I don't think there's any purpose in doing it. You know what I mean?
Cost?
I think someone who's hunting a certain card might buy like 5 cases and scan those and be like, I want this one. This is what I'm looking for. Get rid of the rest.
I think the guy told us, Breezy, that if you did like 7 cases or 7 boxes, it might have been, that it's worth scanning. Like you'll get an ROI, and then you have to sell. And that's kind of the big advice, is don't buy any loose boxes on eBay, but you can scan cases too. And they're really good at saying what's in there. And I just kind of curious if it's kind of entered your guys' thought process at all at this point, as to making sure that you're buying from people that you can trust. That, and a lot of it, Phil makes this point all the time, it's from people that have a more to lose than pulling out a few big hits out of, that run multi-million-dollar businesses, where for a $10,000 card to risk $5 million in revenue is stupid and would never do something like that.
Or like 15-16 cup. I probably would not buy that just because of the CAT scan stuff that's out there right now.
Yeah, I think we're just super careful. I think, in the industry that we're in, and like even me, I think there's always somebody that's like waiting for me to like mess up. Same thing with anybody. It could be, same thing for this show as well. You make one mistake.
Gotcha.
Then, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, now's our chance. Let's post it all over Reddit. Oh. So you got to try your hardest to avoid that one mistake, no matter what it is. And we do a pretty good job. There's never going to be.
And if you make it, own it real quick.
Exactly.
Like Eminem at the end of 8 Mile. He rapped about himself and how much of a loser he was. He gave Epps nothing.
That's
nothing.
it.
It was over.
See, the only thing we've done smart is our brand is about being dumb and making
bunch of dopes.
Every time we make a mistake, it's just on brand with the Gong Show. And it's very freeing, actually, to have that. Speaking of that, have you guys ever has anyone ever tried to scam you out of like a purchase or cases or boxes or anything like that?
I've had people like request a refund after the break was over, and I would say,
that's not how that works, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm talking more on like the supplier end. Like, has anyone, like, you guys hear about the guy in Quebec who took all the SBA pre-orders? And
luckily have not run into anything like that. No.
Good.
We have a pretty like solid, I think, chain of like a network.
You have stronger laws down there. We got away with more here. Yeah, people are more.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is it easier now that you've put in the time and developed this network, where you don't have to like beg, scratch, and claw for product, or is that still part of the grind?
I think it's definitely easier. But I think it's easier. I think one of the hardest parts is kind of knowing how much to order. So it's like, you know what I mean? Is not to be stuck with too much, but to have enough. Because we get like 20 cases at a time, for example. On a release, we'll like order that much. And if the release sucks, we're stuck with, half of those. So then if it's good, we're like, shit, we got to grind and call our contacts and get more right now. Mm-hmm. I think it's easier though. I mean, we know we have like a network.
Yeah, it's easier. I think there's like a misconception where, like, for example, if we ripped like, let's just say 50 cases a week, right? That number seems ridiculous. And I'm not like trying to toot my own horn. I just own a business that people like to break at. But if I was to rip 50 cases for the week, your average card shop is getting 1, maybe 2 of those cases allocated from Upper Deck. So now you have a card shop getting 2 cases. I have 50. So everyone's like, how does this guy have 50? Some weeks I need 50, some weeks I don't.
Yeah.
So I could have products sitting around for a while, and then all of a sudden they blow through the 50, and I'm like, oh no. Well, I'm not going to be able to get another 10, 20, 30 cases, so now it's harder. You know what I'm saying?
It's a game in itself, eh?
Yeah, it's a little mini game inside of the business.
I can get in trouble for this, and I don't care. We order from a lot of different places. We have to, right? Because not everyone has 50 cases on hand. So we have to, go through our network. We order from some of the big guys, right? Like, I'm just going to I'll make something up. Klaus and Char in Canada. And then there's like a bunch of, no, it's fine. I don't care. There's a bunch of online retailers. It's true. I'm being me. I don't care. We order and then all of a sudden the prices skyrocket. There's like limits on product. And then all of a sudden we go in there and they're higher. So we get penalized for like ordering.
Oh yeah, because you affect demand.
Yeah.
Like a good friend of ours, like Mark at my card post, he did this challenge where it was really fun. Like if you saw, like there's like, if you're a golf fan, like Bryson DeChambeau did this Instagram challenge where he tried to hit a hole in one by hitting a golf ball over his house. And so Mark thought, well, I'm going to try to do where in the DeChambeau did, well, I get 1 shot today, 2 shots on day 2, 3 shots on day 3, 4, so on and so forth. And Mark was like, well, I'm going to do something fun with like 2021 SP Golf, where I'm going to open 1 pack on day 1, 2 packs on day 2, 3 on day 3, till I hit DeChambeau, like Future Watch, whatever their Future Watch equivalent is, auto and golf. And it took a while. It took like 35 days. Oh. And he was going through cases and cases. And what he found is that he anytime he needed to get more, because he had bought so much of it, it was raising the price of. So he was like artificially increasing demand and price on, and he was the only one buying it.
That's how I feel like it happens.
That's slimy. Isn't that slimy?
That's why I say like there's a hobby misconception, because everyone just thinks like when a case goes up in price or a product goes up in price, they're like, oh, it's Upper Deck, they're being greedy, when it has nothing to do with Upper Deck. It's all distributed already. Yep. Upper Deck makes it, distributes it, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They have 1 day of sales.
Yeah,
the day the product release, they make every sale,
that's
and they're done.
But because
if you and I buy 20 cases of the cup tomorrow, the next day, if you go to a third-party distributor, let's call it Dave and Adams or Steel City, they might raise it $300. Oh, Chris and Amber just bought 20 cases of the cup. Let's jack it up a little. That has nothing to do with Upper Deck.
It has nothing to do with Upper Deck.
And that's another thing too, where people sometimes they're like, "Why do you pay so much for the cup? I could get a box for $700 on eBay right now." Yeah, but the Kirill RPA was hit out of the case, dude. You're buying.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you pay a premium to get the sealed case to guarantee the case hit. People just think, oh, you buy 50 cases, you pay $4 for a cup tin because you spend so much money.
These are like 90% internet comments, right? We're talking about like every time Upper Deck puts out they put out an Ingrained video. I mean, it was like 2 weeks after they released Ingrained. All the comments are horrible. It's like Upper Deck killed their family pet or something.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to buy the box. You don't have to make a comment. Like, holy crap. It's mind-blowing the hate they get for what we all want. You know, all these whiners are like the weakest people have the loudest voices. We're all playing with our Upper Deck cards at home. So, I mean, what's with the hate, right?
Well,
I don't like Black Diamond. I'm there. I said it. I don't like it, but we can still be friends and we can still like hockey cards. Yeah.
So, I try to stay out of comments because
it's the worst.
Probably 100% of the time, if you open up an Upper Deck comment, there's about 5 top comments that just say breakers ruin the hobby. Or if there's
the people that break with us.
Or if there's a video of me pulling a 1-of-1 McDavid, of course it was a breaker that hit it. How do you expect all of these cards to come out if you just rely on the average guy going into a shop and buying a box of Black Diamond?
I mean, you're right. No offense, Breezy, but because I have this guy who's convinced that you get better cards than the rest. And I tell him every time, like literally I get messages about you and this. And I'm like, he just opens up a lot of boxes. Breezy can't change the odds of what comes out of a box as much as
how dare you, Chris?
And to your point, I would do the same thing. I'm not saying you do this, but a lot of breakers do, like, the magic comes from Breezy breaks. Like, we're pulling hits galore, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you're just opening up a ton of boxes. That's what you're doing.
I mean, it's basic math for everybody listening, right? Josh, if you walk in, I'm going to use $250 as a value here. If you walk into a card shop and buy 1 box of Black Diamond and you spend $250, right? Mm-hmm. Or I have $250,000 in boxes for 2 weeks of ripping. Who's gonna? If I wasn't pulling anything, then we would have a severe issue to talk about.
You're making this complicated, I think.
Yeah.
So we're not posting. We're only posting the best hits.
Yeah.
When you rip a lot and only post the stuff that's the best that you of everything you ripped, of course.
That's just sales, right? It's like you know,
percentages.
It's like getting mad at your uncle for always winning at the casino, but his shoes are always ripped. He's not really winning at the casino. You're just hearing about the good things.
Well, yeah,
you get bad cases too, I'm sure.
And we're like, but how many boxes did you rip to get that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for the older guy that has something against breakers in the hobby, thinking we pull everything, just do the math. You know, you're a little bit older, you got more wisdom up there. Just do the math. Look at what I rip and look at what the average person rips, and you could see why.
He's talking to you.
No, I like that. What are you talking about? I defend you guys.
I'm old, but I have boyish charm, so I think that works much better. Well, great conversation. We got a twofer. We had Amber Moneymoose and Breezy the Breaker on today, so that's exciting, and we'll look forward to next month coming back and see what's happening in your world.
On the floor next month. He had a bunch of questions we ended last time, and he didn't get to ask them.
No, I forget them.
Oh,
well, I think the stalker one was it. That was all. But yeah, you answered that.
Yeah, way to make it awkward.
That's not awkward. What are you talking about? Good-looking people get stalkers. You don't have a stalker, Josh? Mine's outside right now.
Phil, Breezy took out a restraining order against me like 2 years ago. We're trying not to mention that.
Yep.
This is part of your community service, eh?
Things are getting better, Phil. Things are getting better.
Wait, before we go, I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
You're always doing the questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you have planned for the next expo? Will there be another hobby rip night?
You just killed Josh. You just killed him. He called me yesterday. Phil, what are we supposed to do with the expo? I'm like, I don't know.
Well, okay, I can tell you this for sure. We're not doing Rip Party in spring. We will do it again next fall because I think doing it twice a year would dilute it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And it was a lot of energy went into that. Like I slept for a solid week after we got home from the expo. But boy, I'm going way in the weeds here, but I want to. We have an idea for spring. I don't know. I'm still not 100% sold on it, but I kind of like it. And we have one kind of complicating factor. So our chateau, our house, they sold it, and they don't like VRBO or Airbnb. And one of the amazing things about this place was perfect is it had blazing fast internet. Like blazing fast, crazy. And to do a huge live streamed event, super important.
Yeah, you need that.
So we have to find a new house that not only accommodates the amount of people that want to stay, that you get to houses like north of 10 bedrooms and it gets pricey.
Oh yeah. That's crazy.
And then that has good internet. So if I can solve those things, I think we're going to come back and do something a little bit different. And again, more of a live stream event that is for people that are not at the expo. And then I don't know, we're thinking about doing something for the national too. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
The cheapest house we can find with 7 bedrooms is 1,800 Canadian right now for a night. It's like we can't afford that.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money, man. Very expensive.
You guys are going to be there in April, right?
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
We will be there.
We'll have a table.
We will link
I'll save you this time, guys. I promise.
Yeah, please.
Thank you for your time, and we'll just play this. Just this part. There we go. My favorite thing.
The second one, by the way.
Oh, it sucks. I'll send it to you. It's just without the moose. So, well, again, we'll talk again soon. Best of luck. Have fun. Ripping boxes.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right, we're back. Well, lots to unpack there, Phil. It's been a day or so or 2 days since we talked to Moose and Breezy. What were your key takeaways?
My key takeaways were they're both extremely hard workers. They're trying to do the best at their craft, and it's not as easy as everybody thinks. And it seems like they're just kind of going against. They always seem to be going uphill.
Yeah,
you know, they're always. Everyone hates breakers, yet they've never been busier. Everyone hates breaking, but they've never had more problems than the Canada Post strike. Why? Because people keep buying their breaks. So it's. I I find it admirable that they're maintaining a positive attitude when they're surrounded with caca, so
constantly.
Yeah, it sounds like they're trying to build the best environment for their community, and it sounds like they're succeeding at just maybe at a slower organic pace. And like, I'm not defending breakers. Listen, there are bad breakers out there. Amber and Breezy, from everything we know, have done an excellent job. Very admirable, very open and honest. I have no reason not to trust or like somebody until they give you one. And they've been nothing but very honest with us. And we have many of their customers who listen to our show, and I haven't heard anything nefarious or negative. And yeah, my biggest takeaway is how positive they are and how they're treating this like a business. And I'll always recommend Amber, Moneymoose, or Breezy if people want to break.
Yeah, it's I agree with everything you said. I thought that's very well said. Listen, in this hobby, you can find a billion reasons to be negative and tear it down and think and just be angry the whole time. But it is a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. So you got to find the fun in it. And I think that first and foremost, that they do a great job of entertaining and caring for their customers. And that's a huge reason why they're successful, is people like the vibe when they're in their rooms. Simple as that, right?
Fun trumps everything, man. Totally agree.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to chatting in a month or so and kind of see what maybe we'll be into like series 2 might be out by then or something like that. Be fun to get feedback there.
That'd be cool.
That'd be great.
Moving on to new product releases, kind of a fun day. New product releases brought to you by our friends and partners at Mint Inc. Got to give them a special shout out. Get all your hobby boxes at Mint Inc. They're in Canada. They're an internet authorized retailer, so you can order anywhere in the country. They also do breaks as well. They do singles, consignment. They do grading submissions. Kind of, Johnny's trying to build the whole experience there. And so thank you to them for their support of our show. The next hockey release is a first ever. It's for a brand new league, the PWHL, which started last year. And so 2024 PWHL hockey is set to release this upcoming Wednesday. They're in the midst of their second season as a league. The Upstart League currently features 6 teams: the Boston Fleet, Minnesota Frost, which definitely is appropriate today. It's like 20 below here today. That's Fahrenheit.
Ooh.
Montreal Victor. Is that how you say victory in French? Victoire? What is it?
I don't know. I
have a disability.
I don't know. Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Right. The New York Sirens, Ottawa Charge. So what's the connection with Charge and Ottawa? Is there like
everything I've heard, it looks like the Calgary or the Cleveland Cavaliers logo.
Oh. No, but by charge, does that mean like the government charging you taxes for every breath you take, every garbage bag you have? Is that where it comes from?
You just hit it all. Do you want to charge me up? Because you don't want to get me going. No, I don't know what the name means. There's constantly a debate about it, and I'm staying out of it. Yeah.
And then the Toronto Scepters, Bill's favorite. Now, do you automatically hate the Scepters too? Does your hatred of Toronto extend
my sworn
to the
enemies? Yeah, blue team 1A, Scepters 1B. Yeah.
They're playing currently an expanded 30-game regular season last year. I think they had 24 last year. Everything, from all intents and purposes, the league has been a success, which is amazing to see. As a daughter who's played hockey, Louis' daughter's played hockey as well, so we're big proponents of women's hockey here. Now, they also might next season, there's talk about expanding by 2 teams, so another sign of growth for the league there. And when you get into now this first ever PWHL set from Upper Deck, as you might imagine, it's not huge. I'm sure it was a risk to some degree for Upper Deck. And so I'm not surprised, how do you know if people are going to want this or be into it, or, it's a kind of a shot in the dark to some degree. And so I'm not shocked that it's limited. And actually on Thursday's show, our next show, we're scheduled to chat with Matthew at Upper Deck, who built this set. And I think I'm excited to ask him a lot of questions about that, like the strategy and unknowns of building a product for the very first time for a brand new league. So definitely looking forward to that combo. 2024 PHL is constructed much like a stripped down version of Flagship, is what I would how I'd put it. You have 50 base cards, and the base cards have 3 parallels. So there's deluxe, exclusive, and high gloss, right? Much like you would expect in a flagship release. Now, the one thing about this being the first ever PWHL set is that you think base cards, so what? If you're a women's hockey fan, this is going to be the kind of like the 1910 C56 set, Phil, where every card is the first card, right?
Yeah.
And so these base might take on more significant meaning, given that these are the very first cards for these players in the PWHL. In addition to the base cards, there's 20 Young Guns in the base set. Another question I'm really interested to ask Matthew about is how they decided, because in theory, everyone's a rookie, right? If there's never been a set before. So how do you designate 20 as Young Guns and then leave the other 50 in the base set? Very excited to ask him that question. And the Young Guns will have a base version and then a couple more parallels. So there's the Outburst Silver that is 1 in 12 hobby pack odds, Deluxe out of 250, Exclusives out of 100, Outburst Red out of 25, High Gloss out of 10, and then the Outburst Gold 101. Then the only other cards in the set there's 2 insert cards for 24-25 PWHL. There's Blue Dazzlers, which has a 1 in 4.5 pack odds, and then UD Portraits, which are 1 in 5 pack odds. There are 2 parallels of Portraits. There's a gold out of 299 and a red out of 99. So that's it. That's the set and configuration.
Okay. Nice and simple, eh?
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Now, as far as chases go, I gotta admit, I'm pretty naive on the names. There's some that I did recognize, like on the Young Guns checklist. So Sarah Nurse is one that she's kind of the big star in Canada, right, Phil?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's a Young Guns in this.
Oh, nice.
And I'm
okay.
Then there's Natalie Spooner, and I only recognize that name because I looked up who led the league in scoring last year, and it was her.
Okay. Yeah, her name. She's definitely a household name up here for sure.
And yeah, I mean, I need to learn more. Our Minnesota team won the championship. What do they call the cup? I forget.
What's the opposite of what's the feminized version of Stanley? Dolores? The Dolores Cup?
No, I don't think. Hold on, PWHL. The Walter Cup.
Walter Cup.
Are you serious? I love it.
It's Stanley and Walter.
I love it. That's not very inclusive, though. Shouldn't it be Dolores? I'm rooting for Dolores.
Well, okay. Now here we go. The name Walter Cup was proposed by Billie Jean King, who's one of the biggest proponents of women's athletics.
Billie Jean got my girl.
It's named in honor of Mark and Kimbra Walter to recognize their commitment in enabling the creation of the PWHL, an important milestone. So I don't know if they financially back the league or something like that. Now, okay, here's what you can expect. Oh, well, we'll ask Matthew again who some of the big chases are. Hopefully he knows. I would assume. Here's what to expect in a 2024 PWHL hobby box. This is actually kind of cool. So you get 12 packs with six cards per pack. You get 3 Young Guns in a box, 2 Dazzlers, 2 UD Portraits. But here's the thing. Maybe the little bonus for jumping on to PWHL. In every box, you get 1 Young Guns Outburst parallel guaranteed. That's pretty good.
That's good. Yeah,
this is going to be sweet.
It's going to be great. It's probably going to sell out, and maybe you should buy a case and hold on to it. I don't know.
So I did look online, and over 75% of the places I looked at are already sold out on pre-sales.
I want to see how good the breaks, how long they go for.
Yeah, that'll be interesting too. Yeah. So you can pre-order 2024 PWHL hobby boxes at our partner Mint Inc. in Canada. It's about 150 Canadian for hobby. I couldn't find any US pre-sales. Maybe they were all sold out, Louis. But again,
yeah, I struggled to find much.
Did Upper Deck have to fight for the license, or did it just kind of fall in their lap because they're with NHL?
Ask Matthew that when we talk to him. So
okay,
that I'd be interested to know that. Okay, one last quick thing. New product releases. I did get an updated release calendar from Upper Deck. So we just talked about PWHL, which releases this upcoming Wednesday. Then on February 5th is the next hockey release. That'll be 23-24 Clear Kick. God, we're still in 23-24 sets. So many of them. And then, boys, a week later, the 12th, 24-25 O-Pee-Chee Hobby. O-Pee-Chee Paper. Coming back.
Is it $500 again, or is it back down to like 60
It's
bucks?
like $60 US.
Oh, there we go. I'm back. Bill's back, baby.
So is that 500 Canadian? I lose track of the.
It's like 580. Carry the one. Yeah, 580.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited about O-Pee-Chee.
Yep.
Okay, before we get on to mailbag, got to mention Fanatics, who's a Gongshow partner and sponsor. We're grateful for their support of our show. There's only a few days left till we're at the end of the January premiere auction, which ends this upcoming Thursday night. You can head to fanaticscollect.com to see the 7 hockey cards available to bid on this month. The current weekly auction, of course, is live too, runs through this Sunday. On Thursday's show, we'll each pick out our favorite vintage and modern cards to highlight. But remember that any cards you send to Fanatics Collect, whether you're for the premiere, weekly, the buy now marketplace, or just a store in your vault, if they're raw, you can have them graded by any of the grading companies with just a couple extra clicks as part of the submission process. You can do it all at fanaticscollect.com. Mailbag. Got some good questions. This first one I loved, and it's from Discord and our good friend John, High Gloss CBJ. He said, question for Brad from PSA whenever you have him back. What does PSA do with the 1 million+ card savers and top loaders that are sent in each month with cards being submitted? I hope they are recycling them or giving back to the community. That is a ton of plastic to waste. Well, I emailed Brad and asked him that question and got this response. He said, every holder, when it arrives, gets a sticker on it that it isn't able to be removed. While entering into the assembly process, the holders are discarded, and his assumption is disposed off with some sort of recycling company. But yeah, you think of like the scale of PSA in that they have like 1.2 million top loaders to get rid of every month. And a lot of other problems like that.
Right.
Just crazy.
Interesting. Recyclable problems. Who would have thought?
Well, and I think too, like Louis, you had mentioned, we were talking about this on the way to a card shop the other day. That I think they cut them out, right, as to make sure that the card isn't damaged, removing it from the. So the whatever it gets sent in is probably destroyed.
Yeah, it's destroyed anyway. So
Instagram, Card Collectors Toronto. Where do you see the market for Gold Outburst 101s heading? The McDavid sale was mind-blowing. It appears this is going to be a major card in the hobby.
Yep. I think it's here to stay. Yeah, it's the new norm now. Like, oh, you got the Gold Outburst? Like,
Yep.
Did you guys see the comment? I assume it was Karn or somebody at Slab Sharks put on our social post about when we did the second year McDavid that sold for $6,000.
Whew.
And when people were kind of, there's a lot of comments saying, wow, that's kind of a mind-blowing price or too much, sort of. And his comment, which is always good to get like the context from other sports, is he said that, well, that card is equivalent to like a Black Prism in basketball. And he said like a LeBron James Black Prism sells for $300,000. So a 6,000 McDavid, is a lot of money, but it probably isn't out of the realm of what it should be worth.
See where the world goes in a few years. Could very well
I actually think this is such a good question. We might do a deep dive on this a little bit more to get some, try to learn a little bit more about the impact these cards are having. Instagram, YKJP-1. Considering the high interest and strong prices of Wayne Gretzky all-time Future Watch auto cards, has anyone done the research to see how many are accounted for? Well, this sounds so much like a Phil question.
I'm on it. Love it. YKJP_1. I'm on it. I got this. I figured out the Brady thing, so I'll figure out. What do you think a website would be cool? Like, there's more people are private than not, right? Like I'm more open about certain things than I think other people are, but I would put what cards I have that are special on a registry on a website just to account for them. I just don't feel like participation would be high. You know,
Yeah,
my intentions. Maybe people, if they knew the website was like with good intentions, just so we can all share in the excitement. You know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
now yours when you bought it, is that the most you've spent on a card?
Yes, I've never spent more money than that. $4,250.
Do you see yourself ever buying any more? Like you're not going to do you're not going to try to get all 49, are you?
Oh, of Gretzky? No, dude,
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. What are you, nuts? No, one's enough, brother. One's enough. Yeah, and I would listen. Someone throws you, it's for sale, $50K. Yeah, just that is it. No, 42,500. That's what it's for sale for. Move the decimal point.
Sold.
Instagram, the sports card journey. I've had a Shane Pinto Young Guns listed on my card post for months now. Why hasn't Phil purchased it? Well, I think it's because Phil is a fair weather Pinto fan.
Oh, yes,
otherwise,
Josh,
if he loved Pinto, he would have bought.
Yeah, I'm a fair weather Pinto. I will not take the bait. I have enough Shane Pintos. You should keep it. It's going to be worth more money very soon. You know who they compare him to? Bergeron.
Yeah.
You know that, right? Okay, just saying.
Wow, who?
They compare him to Bergeron, a very young, inexperienced Patrice Bergeron. There's flashes of brilliance in there. Anyways, let's get moving on.
How about? Well, I've been thinking about something, Phil. I want to do
Don't do it. I just did it. There's no reason to do it. The good listener doesn't want to hear it.
But I want to.
All right, let's go.
I want to do a bet with you. We should do some sort of bet around Pinto and Ovi. Like
okay.
If Ovi gets the record and Pinto's Young Guns doesn't hit like $6.
No, I don't. I don't like betting things when people just get lucky. Put some merit on the line.
Well,
do like an arm wrestle. Let's do an arm wrestle.
No, I think you should get a Gongshow tattoo.
Well, you're gonna have to pay me. You're gonna have to rewrite my contract for that, buddy.
Like your whole back.
Oh, I'd have to get waxed again. I don't.
Yeah, you'd have to get waxed.
I'm tired of it.
Oh okay, boy, no.
Instagram Crosby's card donations. Are there checklist cards in every set? If so, why? Do people collect them? I assume years ago we used to check off, which we had with like pen, but now it's a criminal offense to defense a card. And especially when we have the lists online, are they still needed? I don't think they're in every set. The only two sets I can think of are in Flagship. Like with the Young Guns checklist, and then O-Pee-Chee paper, which still has the proper checklist cards. But I think those are the only sets.
That's all I could think of off the top of my head, too.
What about you, Phil? You're a huge.
Was not aware.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Next one. Instagram cornmeal rosin for Phil. Which individual cards and sets smell the best? This is so gross, but go ahead.
Well, hands down. I mean, it's just not coincidence. It's Upper Deck 1990-91. Actually, you know what? I changed my answer. It's a baseball Upper Deck 89-90 because it was the first year they came out. So the chemicals are, they're so dirty. There's probably carcinogens like everywhere. There's probably no regulations, but it's like gasoline, right? It's so bad for you. The worst things in life are usually the most fun. So if I can relate it to gasoline, not that I have gasoline or anything, but I mean, it's a good smell. And 89-90 baseball Upper Deck for sure. Game changer.
Smells the best. You love it?
I like it. Yeah. It reminds me of like when I didn't have bills to pay and the sun was brighter on my face and colors were brighter in general. Yeah.
That one was bad, but your 90-91 Upper Deck, you're spot on. Yeah. Well, you're spot on with that because I bought a box of that when Josh, Troy, and I were out screwing around.
Oh, it smells.
And I ended up ripping it at Josh's house. And the first thing was, though, I didn't go, oh my God, this smells so bad. I went, oh man, do I remember doing this back in the day?
I'm not being jokey. There's a very specific smell to it. Yeah. Was your wife like, are you making methamphetamines downstairs? You're like, no, we're just opening hockey cards.
Again. Facebook, Caleb Smith. Has there been a card in Flagship that has both a snow spray auto and electric ice parallel in the same set?
What?
Oh,
that's a very specific question, Caleb.
It is. Well, it's a very specific question, and I have no idea how you'd answer it. And kind of curious as to the purpose of it, and if there's like a player in mind, because it would be very that.
We need a follow-up question, Caleb.
Yeah, we need a follow-up question, Caleb. So follow it up. Another kind of tricky one. Instagram, Kyle Melter 14. How does a Joe Sakic McDonald's patch from 2001 do?
Do what?
Sell. Now, normally I would direct people to a site like 130 Point, Kyle, to get a comp, which is still good advice, by the way. I was curious, though, and could not find a single sale of this card. I have no idea. So I'm guessing not a lot. Or it's either so rare that it's worth a ton of money, or most likely just not desirable. Although it could be a cool card, though. Any Joe Sakic patch card is cool. Did McDonald's do patch cards, though?
I didn't know they did. I was trying to keep quiet and hide. Yeah. Thanks for involving me.
Instagram, Kevin B. Smith. When will prices drop of 23-24 Allure? I love the set, but she's still a bit pricey. Also, you think 24-25 Allure will be as good as the previous set?
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure there's always going to be a Bedard tax on 23-24. You know, it'll be I can't imagine it'll be less than any of the previous sets anytime soon. No. I checked, it's like 160 US right now.
That's not bad.
Not terrible.
I want my Bedard glitter bomb.
Mm.
Or the poor man's glitter bomb, the yellow taxi.
Do you think got that already?
Do you think Billy? Oh, I do have it. Yeah, sorry. Do you think Billy named it the yellow taxi because that's how he gets to work? Are you going to San Francisco?
Well, number one, he lives in San Diego.
I thought it was San Francisco.
And they don't have tax. They don't have. That's a commuter place. You don't have taxis down there.
What do they ride? Segways? You better believe it is.
Oh, Phil, you're a peach. Okay. Oh, have you guys seen the previews for 24-25 Allure?
No, are they? They're pretty different though, over year to year.
They're really different. I'm not saying in a bad way.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Exciting.
So I'm always going to give it a benefit of the doubt, Kevin, because it's been so good. So I'm looking forward to 24-25.
And Kevin, if we're lucky, maybe we'll get a box from Upper Deck and we can preview it on the channel. That'd be cool. Getting new products would be awesome because we talk about them so many times.
That's fine.
I don't know how to be subtle, man. Subtle, you know.
Instagram, Kindred Hobbies. This is a good question. Do you believe larger eBay hockey card consigners are good or bad for the hobby? Should they have a better system and not flood the market with 30 patch autos of the same player? So I actually think that they are good for the hobby, and I might have had a different opinion a couple years ago. But Kindred, I would point you to just a couple days ago, like at the Slab Sharks auction, somebody unloaded a really nice Patrick Waugh collection, and people went nuts. I went 0 for 6 and didn't win a single one. I had 6 I really wanted, and I bid way over recent comps on all 6 of them and got crushed. Like we were talking about the Future Watch Auto that sold for all-time Future Watch Auto sold for a bunch. And so here's what I think, because I really try to look, well, why are these good for the hobby or not? I think what they do, and again, Slab Sharks is a great example of this, is they give everyone a sense and a time where we know on Thursday nights there's going to be a ton of hockey cards that are ending. And it makes it almost easier as a buyer, right? Oh, I know Slab Sharks is Thursday night versus cards that randomly are ending all throughout the week. I really appreciate that part of it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that's a good answer. I did notice like, I think there was 3 Patrick Waugh rookies, not on Slab Sharks, but in another consigner. I was on ebay.com, not CA. And I thought that was, listen, I'll stay in my lane. I'll stick to trees and shrubbery. But I would think that if those were my 3 cards, or if I was one of 3 people with that just coincidentally had 3 cards, wouldn't you want to spread that out as a consigner company? I would think they should be a little more, unless they have better success putting all 3 at the one time. I don't know. I thought that was.
I've asked Jeremy Lee this too, kind of similarly, like we'll have a bunch of like a player's cards or similar cards on like a Fanatics Collect auction, and when we're doing the show about that.
Mm.
And his point, which makes some sense to me too, is that like again going back to this like big lot of like this Patrick Waugh collection, or on Fanatics Collect they had a whole bunch of electrifying PSA 10s the other week. He's like, when you put them all at once, the word gets around that people that are really into that are like big Patrick Waugh collectors or big Flair retro guys.
Yeah.
Then they know, oh man, there's like 10 of them, and it works to your benefit.
It almost gets FOMO, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Fear of missing out. Just in case someone doesn't know that acronym. Sometimes people don't know. And FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Really? I didn't know that one.
You've never heard of FUD? Stop fudding me, Josh. Never heard that?
No.
Weird.
Anything to add, Louis, before we move on?
It's not the consignor's issue if they have somebody that sent in 10 cards of one guy with patches.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sending my cards in. I want to sell them. I guess if there's written rules that if a consignor says, well, we're only going to do so many of these a week, you know, that's for you and the consignor to discuss. But if I'm sending 20 cards in, I probably want all 20 sold. It's not the consignor's deal. And I wouldn't say flooding the market really either.
Discord, let's get bedarded. eBay Canada just instituted reporting for $2,800 Canadian and/or 30 sales to the like CRA. That's like your tax authority.
Are you serious? Oh, that's not good.
How does this, if at all, change how you go about tracking your buy sell of your cards, even if you don't do it as a business? So it sounds like all your purchases and sales are from eBay are being now automatically reported.
Yeah, I would think that I can tell you right now, I would know certain people that would. So you know what these guys, you know what people are going to do? They're going to find different ways. They'll use eBay, but they'll just talk more off platform, or they're just shooting themselves in the foot. That's ridiculous. That's insane. Like a bunch of dorks. What are you doing? Like it's 10 grand, right? If I have to deposit cash in the bank, I put 9,500. If I we have a government, I don't know if it's a government agency, but obviously it's government ruled maybe, but it's called FinTrack, and anything over $10,000 has to be accounted for, and it's a different ball game when you get up there. But there's loopholes. My whole life, I don't know corporate things and whatnot, but there's always loopholes. You're not gonna stop selling cards when you're making good money because eBay wants to do the right thing. Get out of here.
No, it's not eBay doing the right thing. I mean, eBay does not want to do this. They're being dictated to because the government of Canada is telling them they have to.
That's why? Yeah.
Of course, 100%. eBay.
Well, that's not surprising then.
Yeah.
You think eBay wants to do a whole bunch of like,
I don't know. It seems like an insane thing to do. I'm like that. So I guess you're right. The only way they're doing the insane thing would be as if our 3x government in 8 years is telling them what to do. A bunch of bureaucrats. Yeah.
So you're the guy who loves to rail on the big corporate machine. So you're thinking that eBay's and they're in a board meeting. It's like, well, what should we do for our Q2 strategic plan? And someone's like, I know this is going to dramatically lower our revenue, but isn't the right thing to report all of our revenue to the Canadian Tax Authority?
Well, I don't know. Sorry, I came to that assumption. I just this last year, they introduced the authentication program, damaged 2 of my cards, a plethora of other stories of damaged cards. So, and they also, you have to wait longer for your cards. They hire former greater employees. Then it's CGC. No, then it's PSA. I can't even get a straight answer. The authentication program provides my cards in different formats back to my house in different ways all the time. So yes, I did assume that, Josh, because they don't have the best track record, if you ask my opinion, which you did. You better believe it is.
Dude, that was the worst. That was the worst thing with that Madonna when I saw that it was going to authentication. I was like,
it's terrible.
Yeah, you gotta be kidding me. No.
Terrible.
Send it right to me, please. Nobody touch it.
Nobody knows. That's what I can't stand. When it's that, like, don't talk to me like I'm a child, okay? I know more about the cards that I'm buying than anybody at your company, probably. I don't need that glossed over. Oh, we're here for your safety, sir. We're here to protect your big purchase. Like, get out of here with that inauthentic nonsense. It's nonsense. Someone's making money somewhere, and we see right through it. Look, you got me all hot, man. All right. Sassy Phil came out.
Wow, look at the 3 snap Z, right?
Yeah, I'm a snapper.
Okay. I think we got a Phil rant coming
snapper
up here pretty soon.
Hey, you haven't done a rant in a long time. What's your problem?
Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot about I kind of just rant in the show.
Right.
Like, oh, he doesn't know anything.
Discord, Mad Dog Nav 78. You're looking for a card you absolutely must have. What's your search process? I don't know if I have a good one. I just look at my card posts, kind of Slab Sharks, eBay, Fanatics, Collect, and ComC.
Yeah, I do the circuit. I do the crackhead circuit.
You buy a lot of, how do you find cards on? I'm fascinated by how much you use Facebook, Phil, because I've never been successful finding anything on Facebook.
I love Facebook. I get lots of good cards, but you can't really search for cards you like on Facebook. You
just have to put in the time and like browse.
You got to kind of be unhealthy on the cell phone and just, every hour, some post.
Oh, okay. Any other sources that you guys add to your list, or did I cover them all basically? All right, next question from Instagram. Just Jub. Why does every card I look up have no value? What's wrong with the hockey card hobby? Well,
that'd be awesome. Love everything I wanted to get after. It would be cheap.
Maybe adjust your desires in cards. Like pick a young guns of a decent player and it's worth something.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it probably comes back to we're in that what I call the junk variety era. There's just tons and tons of different cards. And if you're looking to collect cards, like if your goal is to collect cards that have value, there's just a learning curve to figure out which ones do have value because they are definitely out there. We know, I mean, there's more cards that the three of us want that we can't afford than there are cards we want that we can't afford. So
I'd like to know can you send in another message and let me know or us know? I'm curious as to what you're looking for or what.
Yeah. Follow-up question.
I want to know what ones you're looking for.
A little more info.
Okay. Instagram, QC Silver 79, question for Mailbag. Hey guys, any tangible data or insights into Young Guns values following a big win for an individual or group win, like winning the Cup, Calder, Maurice Richard, etc.? Wondering if really a Young Guns would spike because of such prizes. Did not see a such spike with the last Cup with Barkov or Kachuk or last Calder winners. Thanks again, and as usual, you guys are the best. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, well, when we started, that was one of our big assumptions. And I think even going back to like where the hobby was very market focused during the pandemic, when everything was going up and up, that there's all these trigger events that would cause a market to, explode for a current player. And I think if anything, we found if there's any impact on like a Calder or a Cup, it's more on the front end and the anticipation of it, and a market doesn't go up after. But in general, I think what I've observed over the last 3 years is that these things don't have as big of an impact as you would almost hope or assume.
Right. Good answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it is a good answer. You nailed it. I don't see a lot of movement just because certain people might get a bump, but
it's short-lived.
Yes.
Discord, JB. Have you seen any info about how Upper Deck chose who the 20 Young Guns for PWHL set would be? Seems random to me. I can't understand why they wouldn't have Marie-Philippe Poulin. Is that how you say her name?
Yeah.
Marie-Philippe Poulin.
Stand by, JB.
Yeah, we'll ask Matthew about this on Thursday. So, and then last one. Instagram, GopherFan90. I'm looking to buy a top loader binder. What's the brand of choice from the top loader binder gang?
X-Pro.
Yeah, get them on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a different one, Louis, or are you an X-Pro guy too?
I don't know what it is. It's probably an X-Pro.
If you're looking to spend a little bit more money for a little bit of better quality, Gem Loader from Australia, but it's like a medium amount more money for a little bit more of quality.
They're like real leather, right?
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Makes me feel special.
Personal pickups. Phil, you got anything?
Zip.
Yep.
Okay. Louis.
I do.
Ooh.
Since this all transpired because of the beret that I saw in Slab Shark, so I ended up with a 97-98 Pinnacle totally certified platinum blue Madonna out of $3,099. And then, well, what the heck? There weren't any golds for me to get, so I just went and got the red.
Attaboy.
Out of $61.99. And then
Nice.
putzing around, I found a cheap 99 2000 Stadium Club Refractor. So
great card.
Grab
great
that.
Card. Nice.
But look at all the fun. Look at all the fun you can have for like $5, $7, $12.
Amazing.
There you go. I got 2 cards since our last show. The first one is a 98.99 Pacific Revolution Patrick Waugh Eyeshadow out of 99. Nice. It's a raw card.
Great card.
Those Coho pads are the best. I love those leg pads.
Then I already told these boys, Phil and Louis, this, but after I got skunked in the Slab Sharks auction, I took my money and had been looking at this card for a while. A 2018 O-Pee-Chee Platinum Alexander Ovechkin Retro Black and White Houndstooth out of 25. So I picked this one up too.
Beauty. That's the only houndstooth I can find in horizontal.
I think, yeah, it's the only.
Yeah.
I was made aware of this card when during the Fanatics Collect Weekly, the 101 sold last fall for like $1,500.
Oh.
And I didn't see it before, the Golden Treasures, but
yeah.
All right. Well, Phil's got pizza, so we gotta go.
Yeah.
If you like the episode, please leave a rating and review on Apple, Spotify, whatever podcast app you listen to us on. If you love the show, you want to chat with us, you want to support us, please join our Patreon. Consider a $5 a month donation. Join our $2.99 support level tier. It's very easy to do. Link is in the show description in the podcast apps and YouTube, our Instagram, TikTok profile, on our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com. Or you can go to Patreon's website directly, patreon.com, and just search for Hockey Cards Gong Show. We're on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, depending on the day, up or down, Twitter and YouTube. And the Hockey Cards Gong Show podcast is a production of Dollarbox Ventures, LLC. Louis, take us out.
Bye.
Yo, it's the Gong Show. We're dropping the facts. Hockey cards on fire. No holding us back. Josh looking sharp, the face of the scene. Feeling pork chop pants, rocking it clean. Baba Louie in the booth, he's the man with the plan. The best producer in all the land. Gong Show Nation, let's hit the flow. It's the Hockey Cards Gong Show. Let's go, let's go.